For 45 years, heartbreak has plagued Falmouth. Since 1980, the Cape Cod crown has stayed just out of reach. And last season, the Commodores took a step backward.
2024 season comes to an end on a rainy night at Spillane Field as the Gatemen close it out and defeat the Commodores.
But this summer, everything changes. A new era begins at Fuller Field with a new voice in the dugout. 2013 World Series champion Jared Saltalamacchia is here to lead the charge.
Swinging a line, right base hit into left field. That's the ball game. The Red Sox have rallied to win game 2. They've won it. The Sox have won it 6-5. Jared Saltalamacchia with a walk-off base hit.
New leadership, new hunger, and one mission: bring Cape Cod glory back to Falmouth. So wherever you are, sit down and get ready. The doors are on the air. This is Falmouth Commodores baseball, and it starts right now.
For the second time in 8 days, we're back here at Lowell Park, and we're opening the door before game number 22 of the year between the Falmouth Commodores paying a visit to the Cotuit Kettleers. Ben Haller alongside Andrew Delapiana. That's Ryan Martin. And Andrew, let's recap the past couple of days. A couple of days ago, Commodores let one get away against Hyannis, but bounced back with not a game, but a nice event with Meet the Coaches.
Yeah, let's start on Wednesday where Hyannis and Falmouth had a chance to get to that first place spot in the division. The Commodores were tied in that 5th inning with the Harbor Hawks, but they really let it get away, allowing 4 runs in that frame. But you go back to last night, we had a ton of fun at the Meet the Coach event. Ryan and I were on the air talking for about 2 hours, met plenty of the coaching staff as well as plenty of good faces in the community as well, and so many thank yous to go around for all the great people that put that event on.
Well, last time the Commodores played Cotuit, they had some fun, and that came with Matthew Dallas on the mound. His first start this season for the Commodores, it came against this same Kettleers offense, and he shoved.
It did, Ben. It was exactly right. He goes 4 innings in that game. He doesn't get the fireworks started early, though, on the 4th of July. Doesn't give up a run. He hasn't given up the run this summer. The returning 2024 Commodore, Matthew Dallas, has been great. Really interested to see how he fares against his Kettleers team for the second time in a week. You go back to that game against Harwich, guys, where Freddie Rodriguez faced Falmouth for a second time. He really lost it with the Commodores team that got to know his pitching style. I wonder if the same is true for Matthew Dallas now against his Kettleers team.
Well, it's the 3rd time the Commodores will play the Kettleers this season, but the first one came later in the year. That's not great for the Commodores with how different these two Cotuit teams have been from June to now.
It has been night and day for Lauren Hibbs' squad. You look at that first month of the season, 3 wins for this Cotuit team. They have really flipped the script. Now 8-3-1 to start off the month of July. Worst offense in the league in June. They've completely flipped that. Best offense in July. It's been a lot of fun watching this Cotuit team really pick things up. Going to be a tough night again for Matthew Dallas, who sees them for the second time around.
Well, that's 2 offenses that have been swinging better bats this month than last month. The Cotuit Kettleers host the Falmouth Commodores with first pitch coming up at 5 with Andrew Delapiana and Ryan Martin.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Welcome back to Open the Door. We're chugging along here before Cotuit and Falmouth coming up. First pitch at 5 o'clock, but beforehand, I have Falmouth's Micah New just over halfway through the season. I think it's a good time to take a step back, look at what you've done as maybe the best hitter in the league so far through 21 games. Now that you've had some continuity, have you had a chance to kind of look back at those first 21 and to reevaluate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to keep everything simple and, you know, just hit the ball, see it up, and hitting it, and good things are happening. So, I mean, nothing. I just try to keep it simple. I don't want to think too much because when I think, that's when stuff goes down. So I'm trying to keep it simple.
Talk about, not trying to think too much. Earlier in the year, you obviously started the year very hot, but it's continued to this point. Still lead the league in a number of offensive categories. Is it something that you think about, kind of where you sit in some of those numbers? Do you think about the stats a lot?
No, I mean, I just try to do me, and when I do me, good things happen, and I just try to keep that going for the rest of the year.
From a team's perspective, how do you feel about the way you guys are playing right now in the thick of the season as opposed to where you guys were the first week or so?
Yeah, I think the first couple of weeks, I think we were trying to do too much, and everybody's trying to do it by themselves, and now we've really sat back and talked about getting quality at-bats. So, I mean, when we're doing that, we're good, and I think everybody's showing what they can do. And, I mean, we're putting up a bunch of runs, and it's really good. I think we should stay there.
Mike, I appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Ryan.
Thanks so much, Ben. You just spent a moment with Mike Anu, the Commodores center fielder, before Kettleers and Commodores. Ben Haller, obviously from Indiana University. He's a Hoosier. How about a former Hoosier and Kettler outfielder Andrew Wiggins? He's now in the transfer portal, but a saxophone player who can perform the national anthem. Let's hand it to Andrew Wiggins, diamond side at Lowell Park for the national anthem before Cotuit versus Falmouth.
On the saxophone, number 13, Andrew Wiggins.
What a performance that was from Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, he's a star outfielder. He can also play the saxophone. That along with 5 other instruments as well, including the piano. He will not be playing that one tonight. We are definitely sure about that. But we are just about set for game time here from Lowell Park. Second time these two teams meet in 8 days here from Cotuit. Alongside my partner Ryan Martin, I'm Andrew Del Piana. Ryan, we kind of teed off the top of this broadcast about how important kind of feels like the second half of the season is for the Commodores as we get past Meet the Coaches Day on to game 22 of the season tonight. Kind of feels like this is time for Falmouth to make that playoff push.
Especially now well into the back nine of the regular season, Andrew, as you mentioned, game 22 of the Cape League calendar comes here at Lowell Park. And I think you got to go back to that game right before Meet the Coaches Day, which was a lot of fun. Last night, 2 nights ago, it wasn't a ton of fun for Falmouth in that loss to the Hyannis Harborhawks. If Falmouth wins that one, they have a chance to be in the first place in the West Division for the first time in over 3 years. They can't do it. Harborhawks win that one on the road. I think you got to have a goldfish mindset. Enjoy that off day yesterday. Now get settled back in, which should be a good one. Again, you play this Kettleers team for the 3rd time in 8 days. The most games against one team that you'll play in such short of a span.
Yeah, that third meeting between these two teams, splitting the first two. Back time we were here at Lowell Park, it was Jaron Avincula who was the hero in the bottom of the 9th inning after a game-tying home run by Ryan Farber in the 8th inning to tie things up at 2 apiece. But the guy who gets the start tonight for Falmouth, he shoved in that July 4th victory, as you mentioned a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's the Wake Forest left-hander Matthew Dallas, the only returning Commodore from the 2024 squad. He started 6 games in 2024, now making his second start of 3 appearances so far for Falmouth, and Matt Dallas has just shoved so far, as you mentioned. Has yet to give up an earned run, Andrew. That includes on the 4th of July, where he went 4 innings, gave up just 2 hits, and of course none earned against his Kettleers team at Gov Fuller Field. Excited to see what Dallas has. Again, it's so hard in this league, though, Andrew, to have sustained success, especially when you're facing a lineup twice in such a short span.
And it's not something you do a whole lot in college ball, when you see a team one time, usually on that Friday night, even Saturday night, and you don't see them for the rest of the regular season until that conference tournament.
The most likely situation is you'd see them at some point during a weekend series, as you said, and then if you matched up with them in a conference tournament or in the NCAA tournament, which is even less likely. But yeah, for a Kettleers team, again, most of these position players for Cotuit are the same ones that suited up on the 4th of July or the 3rd of July. Again, remember, 2 times that Kettleers faced Falmouth. On the 4th of July, it was Matthew Dallas, and now here on the 11th of July, it comes with Dallas. Again, excited to see what Dallas has. I think he has to go a step up if he wants to keep Cotuit off the board, which has been a hot Kettleers offense.
And the only thing that new guy is Taggart Tyson, who gets a start at first base today. He'll be in the 8th spot as the Kettleers take the field just moments before Game 3 between the Commodores and the Kettleers. Let's meet that starting lineup that Jared Saltamacchia rolls out in his 22nd game as the field manager. Starting with Carl Schmidt, he'll play second base, followed by the right fielder Antonio Morales. Batting third, the DH Adrian Lopez. Batting fourth, the center fielder Mike Anu. In the 5th spot, the first baseman Kent Schmidt. Batting 6th, the third baseman Justin Osterhaus. In the 7th spot, it's the catcher David McCann. In the 8th spot, the left fielder Ashton Wilson. And rounding out in the order, batting 9th, it is Chris Newstrom. Let's meet that Cotuit starting pitcher, Rob Evans, making his Cape League debut after 2 starts with the West Virginia Black Bears of the MLB Draft League in the last couple of weeks. Pretty solid numbers in his junior season at Miami after a season at Georgia State, followed by Chipola College his freshman year, a JUCO guy. Heavy on the fastball, Ryan, throws it about 50% of the time, and a guy that the Commodores did not see that first time around in the first 2 meetings.
Yeah, just making his Cape League debut, as you say, for the 20-year-old draft eligible from Harlem, New York. Mentioned the fastball, it's part of the 4-pitch mix. He loves to use off-speed stuff as well. A slider, sinker, and changeup at his disposal. Going against the Commodores lineup that's been hot so far, up to a 241 team average.
Yeah, the only team on Cape Cod right now averaging more than 5 runs per game as they take on the 3rd best ERA staff-wise in Cape Cod. The defense behind them, left to right in the outfield, Dean West, Caden Bogenpol, and Nolan Stevens. Left to right in the infield, Camden Johnson, Luke Matthews, Ryan Farber, and Taggart Tyson making his Cape League debut as well, with Luke Lavin doing the catching for Evans. Our umpires tonight for tonight's matchup, Dan Fitzpatrick down at third base, Robin McHugh on the first base side, Mark Rowan, he calls the balls and strikes. Falmouth in their road uniforms. Shouldn't even say road uniforms, they're black batting practice tops that they've been rocking with the last couple of games as of late with the gray pants below. Haven't seen the road uniforms in a little bit, would you say?
Maybe a player field manager, Jared Saltamacchia, with his first year of the Commodores. Guys say they're more comfortable swinging in those batter's practice shirts. Who's he to say otherwise, right? And he's someone who could relate more than most of these managers, being a 12-year Major League veteran himself. So how about keeping it cool and comfortable on a 76-degree night in Cotuit?
It works. Best offense in the league. Why not keep it rolling? Kettleers go with their red tops on Cape Cod Red Shirt Friday, supporting the military, with their pinstripe white bottoms on the pants. Carl Schmidt from the right side to get things going against the lefty, Rob Evans. Evans comes set at the belt, kicks and deals. Schmidt slaps it foul first base side, and we are underway as it's a heads up inside the Commodores dugout. First pitch at 5:04. As Ryan said, a beautiful night here at Cotuit. A couple of clouds above center field, but the sun peeking through just a little bit behind the press box. 0-1 is a breaking ball. Schmidt flies it and skies it out of play. Quickly down 0-2 for Carl Schmidt, who's been that staple of the leadoff man for the Commodores. His numbers have been very impressive as of late. Got that average up to .329, top 10 in the league. The 0-2 Bouncer in the dirt. See a 4-pitch mix from Evans. Talked about heavy on that fastball. Also a slider about a quarter of the time. Sinker at 15% and a changeup as well. What does he go to here on the 1-2? Here it is. He goes inside for ball 2 on the changeup. Carl Schmidt, the rising redshirt sophomore from California, had a 3-double effort back on Tuesday to really kick-start this week. 2-2. Fastball in and out of the glove of the catcher Lavin. It's ball 3.
Thought for a second that ran up on Schmidt. Maybe hit him in the elbow. Instead, he gets away from it. Now a full count for Schmidt, who hasn't walked in over a week, Andrew.
That last one coming on Friday in the victory against the Kettleers. It's been a long time. Only just 8 on the campaign. Here's the payoff. Schmidt, high chopper on the ground, corralled on the forehand by Johnson over at third. Fires across in time for out number 1. The first man on the Cape for Rob Evans is retired. It's a good job by Schmidt to really set the tone early on. A 6-pitch at bat. Make sure his teammates behind him just see about everything in the book from the lefty. As here is a lefty digging in Antonio Morales. The pitch. Fastball just above the letters for ball 1. Morales, that average has dipped under 300 just a little bit. It's been a little bit of a slow week for him. A 1-for-4 effort back on Wednesday and a pinch run situation on Tuesday. 1-0. Another fastball high. He did break out of a slump though, Ryan, where he went 0 for his last 11. That included the 2 games against Cotuit in the back half of last week. But to follow that up with a 4-for-5 on Sunday against Chatham, said it was a huge sigh of relief, and to see that confidence rise once more. 2-0. Fouled away down the left field line.
And to say he broke out there with getting 4 hits might even be an understatement for a Commodores team that still dropped that game at Veterans Field 11-8. These are 2 potent offenses between the Anglers and Commodores.
Plenty of miscues as well. A combined 8 errors in that game. 2-1. Schmidt, Morales pokes it out to left. Couple steps to the right for West, and he hauls it in for out number 2. Don't expect a lot of miscues here from this Cotuit defense. The best fielding percentage team on Cape Cod, just 17 errors as well. 2 up, 2 gone for the right-hander, Adrian Lopez.
Lopez walks up, starts the first of 2 straight Commodores batters. We're looking forward to this week being draft eligible between Lopez and Micah New now on the on-deck circle.
Lopez turning just 21 years old on Monday, making him draft eligible. The pitch goes right back up the middle, a slow roller, corralled by Matthews, and he makes the play and zips it across. It's 1-2-3 in the top of the 3rd for the rookie Rob Evans in his first inning of work here on Cape Cod. We'll hear the Kettleers bats for the first time after a short break here on Cape League TV. We're scoreless through half an inning.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
I'm David McCann, a catcher from Virginia Tech, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Welcome Welcome back to Lowell Park. The lefty Matthew Dallas about to start his second game here on Cape Cod, and he has been phenomenal so far. The rising junior from Wake Forest has pitched 9 innings, has yet to allow an earned run. Just 2 hits, 2 walks as well, 9 strikeouts. Lineup he goes against today for the Kettleers. It's Dean West in left field, Caden Bogenpole captaining center field. In the 3 spot, the second baseman Ryan Farber, batting fourth, the hottest hitter in the league right now, the DH Jackson Tilly. Batting fifth, the right fielder Nolan Stevens. In the 6th spot, the shortstop Luke Matthews. Batting 7th, the third baseman Camden Johnson. Batting 8th, the first baseman Tagger Tyson, and batting 9th is Luke Lavin. Defense left to right, Wilson, New Morales. In the infield, it's Osterhaus, Newstrom, Carl Schmidt, Kent Schmidt, with David McCann doing the catching for Dallas. Talked about this Kettleers offense being one of the best on Cape Cod in this month of July. Averaging over 6 runs per game in the 7th month of the calendar year. Only about 3 per contest in June. First offering from Dallas to the lefty Dean West is a slider outside. The rising junior from UCLA has been an instant impact player after the Bruins were exited from the College World Series, a .333 average. 1-0. It's a fastball away. 2 balls, no strikes. Has had his struggles, though, against the Commodores. 1 for 8 with 2 strikeouts. Coming off a really good game on Wednesday in that 8-2 victory over the Red Sox. He went 2 for 3 with a pair of RBIs. 2-0, another fastball, missing the outer third. David McCann, the catcher, didn't think so as he held on to that ball a little bit longer than usual and looks over to Jared Saltomakia. 3-0. This time with the fastball again, right down the heart of the plate for a called strike. Dallas can be a towering figure on the mound, stands at 6'5", 195 pounds. Has a teal glove on his right hand. He's been wearing that since he became a Demon Deacon. 3-1. Is below the knees for ball 4. A leadoff walk to Dean West to get things going for Cotuit.
Number 19, from Missouri State, center fielder, Caden Bogenpole.
That's what Dean West does. You saw what he did last year for the Bruins. 49 walks to just 29 strikeouts for Dean West. Now does it as the first batter facing this one against Matthew Dallas.
And Dean is someone that gets a base on a whole lot. Had 49 walks this past year with the Bruins. First pitch to Caden Bogenpole. No, a check on West, and he's back in safely.
First time we see Matthew Dallas, again, the left-hander, go to the pickoff move at first. He's got one of the smoothest pickoff moves. Not just saying that either because he's a lefty.
Those lefties, they have it, I'd say, pretty easy sometimes. First offering slider tails out for ball 1. It's just such a great thing to have in your arsenal as a lefty where you can just step back. You don't have to make that full turnaround like a righty does.
You gotta have the confidence too, and Dallas can just
of course,
poke his head up and immediately throw over as he did right there.
He does so once more. No dive needed from West on this time around. Scoreless still in the bottom of the first. Leadoff man on for the Kettleers in Dean West with the walk. His 6th of the summer. Here is the 1-0. Is a called strike on the outer third. Dallas has been heavy on that fastball early on. For Caden Bogenpole, the rising junior from Missouri State. Another tall figure as well, 6'6", 240 pounds from the left side. 1-1, slider, same spot, same result. 1-2. This being the 2nd stop this summer for Bogenpole. Played 5 games for his hometown team, the Cape Catfish, before coming to the Cape on Monday last week. 1-2, check over again. And West is not even really moving any muscles there over at first. He's just using that long stride to get back.
Bogenpole goes from the Cape to the Cape. Just a pretty solid distance, though, going from Jackson, Missouri to the village of Cotuit on Cape Cod.
How about that? A town in Missouri named the Cape, or Cape if you just will. 1-2. Another slider outside. Middle infield ready to turn two of Newstrom and Carl Schmidt at short and second, respectively. Bogenpol just a .217 hitter so far this summer through 8 games. 2-2. Slider outside. We talked to Matthew Dallas before the season. The way he uses that slider, very effective against lefties, where it really starts in at that hitter and then breaks out. Payoff pitch. Fastball choppered down the right side, corralled by Dallas on the backhand. He'll flip to first for out number 1. West advances up to second base.
It's another thing that Dallas does really well is inducing weak contact, which means he usually has to get into the play more often than a traditional pitcher would. We've seen him be very comfortable with a few put-off attempts, whether he's going to his right or left while running off the mound. That time, he takes a few steps to the left before throwing to first to retire Bogenpol.
That puts Dean West in scoring position for Ryan Farber, who is coming off his best week of the season just 7 days ago, where he went .455 batting-wise with a home run, 7 RBIs in 6 games. He's boasted that average up to .321 with 25 hits and is inside the top 10 on Cape Cod. The pitch, outside. Dallas still looking to avoid giving up that first earned run so far in 9 1/3 innings pitched. This being his second start, both of them coming against Cotuit, as we touched on a little bit earlier. Takes a look at West at second. Comes home with a 1-0. It's a fastball right at the top of the zone for a called strike. Farber doesn't think so. Turns around for a quick conversation with Mark Roran. He digs back in from the right side, awaiting the 1-1. The pitch is a slider, chopped on the ground on the left side. Newstrom vacuums it up, zips it across, and makes the play for out number 2. Does a good job keeping his eyes on West as well at second. No advancement.
It's important that you put West on second and not third, 90 feet away with 2 outs. For this hitter coming onto the plate for the Kettleers, Jack Natilli, to say he's been on fire, Andrew, might be an understatement.
Yeah, 2 grand slams in your last 3 games. I heard that's pretty good. That might just be me, but first offering from Dallas is a slider that curls in for a called strike. Now second in the league in home runs with 5. He only trails Micah New in that category. Also only trails New in slugging percentage and OPS. As Matthew Dallas just got a warning from Mark Rowan, the home plate umpire, about not addressing the hitter. That's only a warning, doesn't go down as a ball just yet. Will so in the next one. 0-1. Breaking ball. Nearly hits him, and it actually did. Clipped him on the foot as it was curving in his direction. It was very minimal contact. But either way, it's a hit by pitch.
Nolan Stevens, the right fielder, Oklahoma. Stevens, number 16.
That puts Natilli on first, West at second. 2 gone, bottom first. No score between the Commodores and the Kettleers. Here's the lefty Nolan Stevens, the rising junior from Mississippi State. Pickoff move back to second. West dives this time. He's back in. Stevens' numbers so far this season through 19 games, .241 average. Has driven in 5 runs. First offering, slider outside. Lefty Dallas comes set of the belt. Is 1-0. Another slider to the other batter's box. 2 balls, no strikes. Stevens played in that first meeting between these two teams, went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. has yet to see Dallas this summer. 2-0. Fastball clips or just misses the top left of the zone. And Dallas has really been dancing around the zone, but hasn't really hit his spots just yet.
Trying to work around it for Dallas now. 20 pitches, just 7 strikes.
3-0 on the way. It's take all the way from Stevens, but it doesn't matter. It's ball 4. 3 free passes in this inning for Matthew Dallas, something he hasn't done a whole lot. And the bases are loaded for the Kettleers in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Dallas had 2 walks issued through his first 9 innings and 3 appearances, Andrew. Now 2 more walks issued in the first 5 Cotuit Kettleer batters that come to the plate. As you mentioned, bases loaded. Opportunity with 2 outs for Luke Matthews.
I think something you said as well, where you get through that lineup a couple more times, they see it even more. They know exactly what your repertoire is in that scouting report. And Kettleers looking to cash in here. 2 gone, bases loaded, bottom 1. No score between Falmouth and Cotuit. Here's the righty Luke Matthews. The pitch takes it above the letters. The rising senior from Kent State. Just 4 RBIs through 5 games. A late addition. 1-0. Slider also misses high. 2 balls, no strikes. First season at Division I for Matthews this past year with the Golden Flash, where he had 15 multi-hit games. 2-0. Fastball foul back off the net. I should say off the mask of McCann for a foul ball. Had a 2-for-4 effort on Wednesday. But the offense continued to pile on for the Kettleers. 2-1. Outside. Hitters count for Matthews. Kettleers on the verge of striking first. They have yet to have a base hit in this inning. 2 walks allowed by Dallas, including the hit by pitch to Natili. 3-1. Fastball, lofted foul, out of play. Runners will be on the move with a 3-2 count, 2 outs, and the bases loaded. Dallas kicks and throws. Roped into left field, down for a base hit. Weston to score. Natili right behind him, cut off to Dallas. He throws it away at second. Stevens in from third. Matthews on his horse to third, and he is there. With 1 swing in the bat and a couple of miscues in the field, the Kettleers take a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first.
Matthew Dallas 1 pitch away from getting out of it. You mentioned full count, 2 outs and the bases loaded. First gives up his first earned run on the summer in Cape Cod by allowing the single for Stevens into left field. And you're right, makes it the bat even worse by throwing it over Chris Newstrom's head at second.
Not a pretty sequence from Falmouth. Swing and a miss from the lefty, Camden Johnson. And this is what we kind of alluded to last night on Meet the Coaches, Ryan. Just letting innings get away from you. That could be off a couple of hits or 1 bad play and 3 runs come across. 0-1. Slider misses outside.
Well, it brings us quickly back to how Hyannis struck 4 runs in the top of the 9th, but it was thanks to 3 walks issued between Zach Johnson and Devin Shear, and that was the getaway inning against the Harborhawks. Maybe this one comes early against the Kets.
1-1 is slapped the other way, just foul, third base side. Johnson got it off the end of the bat. So that 1 hit, kind of doing all the damage right now. They'll call it a single for Matthews. And then he gets to second and third on the error by Matthew Dallas. 1-2. Into left field, over Newstrom's head, down for a base hit. Another run comes in to score. It's an RBI single for Camden Johnson. And Cotuit has taken a 4-0 lead. in the first inning.
Introduces a quick mound visit from Commodores pitching coach Todd Carroll. Andrew, you're just talking about it. The free passes for Dallas were an issue between the 2 walks and a hit by pitch. No base hits for the Kettleers, but they turned that around quickly. Back-to-back singles that drive in a combined 4 runs.
A frustrating first frame for the Commodores, who, as you said, just 1 pitch away from getting out of this unscathed, and now it's a 4 spot in this inning alone.
First pitch from Louisville, making his low part.
8th man to hit in the order already in this first inning, Taggart Tyson from the right side. He makes his Cape League debut at first base today. Pitch from Dallas is inside, gets all the way to the backstop. That's an easy free 90 for Camden Johnson. This backstop behind home plate, Ryan, is pretty big.
Was going to allude to that when the bases were loaded, Andrew, to see if McCann let one by. That's how the first run would come across for Cotuit. Clearly, they didn't need that help with the 3-run single for Luke Matthews. That's the first time that McCann lets one by him.
One-0. Fastball, swing and a miss. Haven't seen a whole lot of that from Dallas. One-on-one count, 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Runner at second. Kettleers lead 4-0 early. The pitch, high chopper down a third baseline. Dallas just touches it in foul territory. It was a slow roller. Puts the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Again, Dallas 1 pitch away from getting out of it. I think this is a soft landing spot for Dallas after giving up those 4 runs. Again, this is the first at-bat for Taggart Tyson on Cape Cod. Now he's 1 pitch away. Dallas is from getting out of it and ending this disaster of a bottom of a first.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, I'd say. Tyson currently a rising junior in the transfer portal. 2 seasons at Louisville. Got some scattered playing time. Only 81 at-bats in those 2 years for the Cards, where he did hit .296 with double-digit doubles. 1-2. On the ground to left side. Osterhaus has it. Fires across on a 1-hopper, scoop by Schmidt for out number 3. But some early damage done by the Kettleers. It is 4 runs on just 2 hits, 1 error with 1 left on base in the bottom of the first. Cotuit in control early, 4-0 in fact, as we go to the top of the second here on Cape League TV.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: 99 Restaurants, Badger Sports, the Baldwin Group, Bluebird Dennisport, Bridgewater State University, Cape Destinations. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic Clam Shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and kid-friendly option. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just 1 click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store located at 147 T-Ticket Highway and try a slice today.
7-2.
Not the start the Commodores wanted on the road here at Cotuit Park. Back alongside Ryan Martin, I'm Andrew Del Piano. 4-5-6 due up for Falmouth. Just 2 hits in that first inning for Cotuit, but 4 runs come across.
Yeah, that was just getting away from it. Again, it was Matthew Dallas who was in a full count, 2 outs, and
Just that single for Matthews did the job.
Rob Evans, the lefty, back out there for the Kettleers, facing the righty Micah New. First pitch, he skies it first base side, out of play. Micah New in contention right now for league MVP, the rising senior from Arkansas. A .338 hitter. Serious damage though, 7 home runs. 0-1, change up outside, out of the glove of Lavin. Sneaks over to Kent Schmidt on the on-deck circle, toss it back.
You look at Mike Anu, the center fielder, Jackson Tilly, the designated hitter. Those are your top 2 Cape League leaders in homers. Might see a couple long balls in this one.
Those guys have been a pleasure to watch. 1-1, New sent right back up the middle through the 5-hole of Evans on the backhand, the second baseman Farber, but he cannot make the play. Speedy Gonzalez down the line by Mike Anu, and what an effort that would have been in the hole for Farber.
Yeah, we just mentioned how Mike Anu has that power with the Cape League leading 7 homers, which means that that impressive average can sometimes get overlooked. It goes back over 340 now for Mike Anu, a batter who's hitting over 560 this week.
That's got him up to top 6 in the league in average with 340. Leadoff man on for the Commodores. Here is the lefty Kent Schmidt. Evans takes a peek over at first, kicks and deals, and Schmidt launches one into center field. Bojanpol back to the track, to the wall, puts the glove up, and hauls it in for out number 1. A loud first out in the second inning for Kent Schmidt.
Yeah, you look at the dimensions at Lowell Park for the Commodores' second trip here. It's 397 to dead center with 320 at the left and right field poles. I think that one sounded a little bit better, honestly, off the bat for Schmidt than it actually was. Didn't give Bojanpol any real trouble back to the end of center field at Lowell Park.
1 gone in the top of the second. Kettleers leading 4-0. Another lefty in the lineup, Justin Osterhaus. Chuck over at New at first, back in with a dive. Osterhaus, the rising junior from Alabama. Through 17 games so far, 274 hitter. 3 hits in his last 2 games after going 0 for 4 in the loss on Sunday at Chatham. Evans comes set of the belt. First pitch is a breaking ball in there for a called strike. Sun peeking through the third base side here onto Lowell Park. A beautiful night here in Cotuit, just about 75 degrees and sunny. A couple of clouds out in center field as well. 0-1 is high, and it hits Osterhaus on the right elbow, and he's in a little bit of pain. Actually got him on the thumb. And he is just going to jog that one off and head down to first.
Osterhaus went from looking like that could have been really bad on the forward-facing hand to then looking completely fine as he gave it a substantial jog over to first base with Quinn Stromberg waiting there to take his batting gloves.
It's almost like he kind of redirected that one off the hand to kind of protect the elbow as well with the guard on that right side. Either way, runners at first and second, 1 out. Another lefty, David McCann. Pitch. Goes after the first one, pops it up. Third base side, long run for Johnson. Is it going to get out of play? Yes, it is. So a hit by pitch for Justin Osterhaus. Mike Anu at second after that leadoff single. McCann, the rising junior from Virginia Tech. 12 games so far. Those numbers won't jump out on the stat sheet. Just a 147 hitter, but did have that big 2-run home run on Tuesday in the 10-inning victory over Harwich to give the Commodores the lead for good. Lefty on lefty with Rob Evans. First pitch is outside, gets away from Lavin. Actually, that was the 0-1 pitch. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. McCann was a consistent bat this year for the Hokies. Jumps his average up just about 5 points in his sophomore campaign. 1-1. Another slider outside for ball 2. Similar what Dallas was doing on the lefty hitters in the bottom of the first, where that slider starts in, then breaks out. Evans throws that about a quarter of the time. Is 2-1. Fastball, McCann just gets a piece, ricochets off the catcher's gear of Lavin. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. Still just 1 gone, top second. Kettleers a 4 spot in the bottom of the first to take this 4-0 lead over Falmouth in meeting number 3 between these 2 squads. Evans a look at New at second. Comes home. Bouncer in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Lavin. Got down to 2 knees right into the chest protector. A really solid backstop for Stanford this past year. Count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Fastball is up and in for ball 4. It's a well-earned walk for David McCann, and the bases are loaded. Still with just 1 gone.
Wilson, left fielder, Florida.
Good response by the Commodores to be patient with the lefty Rob Evans. Work the counts full, get the walk there for David McCann. Now load the bases and flip the pressure onto the Kettleers after Falmouth folded when Cotuit had the bases loaded in the bottom of the first.
Kettleers feeling a little bit of that pressure as pitching coach Tim Connor out for a quick word with Evans, who is making his first start on Cape Cod. Already feels like an important spot in this ball game for Ashton Wilson. As we know, the Kettleers can strike. Best offensive numbers in the month of July after being the worst offensive team in June. Falmouth, though, especially on Fridays, Ryan, they've been a lot of fun to watch. They have not lost on this day this summer with a 3-0 record. Cotuit, on the other hand, 0-3 on Fridays.
Good start to the weekend for the Doors.
It is. Here is the righty Ashton Wilson. First pitch from Evans is a fastball that's jolted into right field. Stevens on the run down the foul line, and it is in fair territory, drops in for a base hit. New scores from third. Osterhaus right behind them, a dive, and he's in safely. First 2 RBIs for Ashton Wilson on Cape Cod, cut the lead in half. It's 4-2 Cotuit in the top of the second.
Big time to come through for Ashton Wilson. The Florida Gator puts the first 2 runs across on the board for Falmouth, who cut the Cotuit lead in half. I believe it was the first time we saw Ashton Wilson come up with the bases loaded now in game number 5 of his Cape Cod tenure, and he delivers there with 2 runs.
After going 0 for his last 8, that is a huge sigh of relief for the Florida Gator. Still just 1 gone in the top of the second. Commodores have cut right into that deficit. Runners at first and second for the 9-hitter Chris Newstrom. First pitch is on the ground to the shortstop in Matthews. Could be 2, gets under him though. Runners advance 90 feet on the miscue from Matthews. Taps the baseball on his chest as he throws it back to Rob Evans. That'll go down as an E6.
Still very early into this game, Andrew, but something that's been common for both the Commodores and their opponents recently, it's been the errors adding up. Go back to the end of last week, the win over Wareham, lost to Cotuit. A little closer to a Little League game at points with the amount of simple miscues. Now 1 error apiece early in this game.
Bases loaded again. First pitch to Carl Schmidt. He goes after it, pops it up on the right side. Infield fly roll in effect as the catch made by the, I should say it is not. It was not looked in by the second baseman Farber, and he's lucky that the infield fly rule was in effect there. That could have been disastrous, but no harm, no foul for the Kettleers. Bases remain loaded with 2 outs for Antonio Morales. Evans comes set, the southpaw. The pitch. Morales rolls over one, first base side, and foul. He didn't even leave the batter's box because he knew he wasn't going to have to run down to first. So Falmouth has already cashed in 1 time with 2 runs coming in on the 2-run single from Wilson. He stands at second base. It's McCann at third, Newstrom at first. 2 outs, top 2. Cotuit 4, Falmouth 2. 0-1. Fastball in the dirt, gets away from Lavin. Here comes McCann from third. He will score standing up. So another miscue by Cotuit, this time by Evans, and it is a one-run game.
Doesn't feel like there's ever a gap for this Commodores team to come back from and make this at least a competitive game. That's what we see after Cotuit puts up 4 in the bottom of the first. Now it's Falmouth putting up 3 in the top of the second.
Runners also advance as well to second and third. 1-1. Fastball up and in. It's an offense, Ryan, that you know is going to score a whole lot of runs. It's just what this team does. They're the only team on Cape Cod right now averaging over 5 runs per game. Already 2 away from tying that mark. That has been the consistent, but the pitching is where it really needs to pick up. 2-1, slider. Just inside against Morales. 3 balls and 1 strike.
And to your point, Andrew, the run support is there. These aren't pitchers who are pitching, gems, and they see their team only down by 1 or 2. Run support's there for Falmouth. It's about the pitching staff, you're right, to come back and give high-quality half innings.
Evans steps off before the 3-1. Matt Morales readjusting the belt. Taps home plate twice. Swings the bat a couple of times. Awaits the 3-1 from the lefty. Here it is. Morales on the ground to the shortstop. Matthews controls on a couple hops. Zips it across for out number 3. But what an answer by the Commodores in the top of the second. 3 runs come in thanks to 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base in scoring position. It's Cotuit 4, Falmouth 3. Already a whole lot of runs in this one as we go to the bottom of the second here on Cape League TV.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Cape Space, Cape Cod 5, Cisco Brewers, Cape Cod Healthcare, Hampton Inn, Franklin Sports, Highline Cruises, Jersey Mike's, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
My name is Kent Schmidt, and I play first base from Georgia Tech, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Great response by the Commodores in the top of the second, put up a 3 spot to get them right back in this. Cotuit still in front, 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the second. Alongside Ryan Martin, I'm Andrew Del Piano here on Cape League TV, coming to you from Lowell Park. 9-1-2 due up for the Kettleers, and Ryan, you're hoping for the lefty Matthew Dallas. This is kind of a rebound inning, if you will, for him.
He's going to need it, Andrew. That was an inning in which the pitch count got up really quickly over Dallas, over 33 pitches already thrown. 4 runs on 2 hits. He had the error that he committed himself trying to throw to second after the 3 RBI single by Luke Matthews. He's got to settle down here and maybe settle down for the first time all summer because he's been great up to this point.
Well, the good thing is he starts with the 9-hitter in Luke Lavin, the rising junior from Stanford. First pitch is inside, and that slider had a whole lot of break on it. As Lavin had to bounce out of the way, thought he was going to get hit, but in the command with Dallas, 19 balls, 16 strikes so far. 1-0, fastball above the letters. Something we did not see in the first 4 appearances, where he didn't even give up a single earned run. And he already has 3 to his name. 4 in this ball game. 2-0 is not even close. It's over McCann's head, gets all the way to the backstop. Count well in Luke Lavin's favor at 3-0. Got the start on the 4th of July, going 0 for 3 in the loss. 3-0. He takes all the way, and it's ball 4. That is the second 4-pitch walk for Matthew Dallas.
That's a prime example, again, of Dallas seeing this Cotuit Kettleers lineup for the second time in a week. You see Luke Lavin, who went 0 for 3 in that game that Dallas started against the Kettleers. Now he knows what he throws and induces a 4-pitch walk to begin the bottom of the second.
Already 3 walks for Dallas. Had 2 in his first 9 innings.
We go to the top of the order for the Kettleers. Number 36.
As now it is the top of the lineup in Dean West, who got the party started in that first inning with the leadoff walk. He is a California native, stayed home at UCLA. The pitch from Dallas, called strike on the outer third. That's the spot he's been looking to get to for most of this game. Just hasn't really found it.
As a lefty, especially lefty on lefty against Dean West, he wants a slider to break away from the hitter as it does there.
0-1. West squares the bunt, pulls it back as it's a little bit high. McCann pump fake the throw down to first, but no movement from Lavin. That's just catchers picking on catchers there.
McCann was a beneficiary. Remember, he got from third to home on the pass ball on Lavin.
He did. 1-1, slider. West pops it up third base side, long run for Osterhaus and Faltori. A sliding effort over his shoulder, and he makes the grab. What a grab for Justin Osterhaus. Read it like a book the whole way, and that is a nice play for out number 1.
I think that's the best play in foul territory that we've seen from a Commodore defender so far this year. A lot of room from the left field foul pole to the fence at Lowell Park. Osterhaus uses almost all of it, slides as if he's going into second base, and catches it. You're exactly right, over his shoulder. Couldn't even see that one until it was in the glove.
That is some good stuff by Osterhaus at third base for out number 1. Lefty on lefty with Caden Bogenpole. Slider, that's a called strike. He grounded out back to Dallas his first time up. And a special season with Missouri State. 0-1 is a fastball above. He was selected as a reserve for the U.S. Baseball Collegiate National Team, which is currently in Cary for their U.S. vs. Japan All-Star Championship Series. Scattered across Japan, I should say. Swing and a miss on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's a hitter who looks like he should be trying out for the Team USA basketball team now. 6'6", 240. That's a big presence in the left box.
That is a large guy. He broke the single season record set by Ryan Howard at Missouri State in home runs this past year as well. 1-2. Fastball sent to the left side. Newstrom, that's short, fires to first. It is in time, a little high, but Schmidt jumps up to grab it, comes back down for out number 2.
Still a really impressive play by the rising sophomore Chris Newstrom, who comes to have a word now, Andrew, with his pitcher Matthew Dallas for the second time this inning. Again, just a rising sophomore, but Newstrom seems like a veteran presence and has a veteran glove there at shortstop. Wonder if Tony Vitello is watching that one for the Tennessee Volunteers.
Well, that's a veteran move from just the rising sophomore, because Farber grounded out to him the last time around. Runner at second, 2 gone, bottom 2. Cotuit 4, Falmouth 3. The pitch. Slider just outside to the righty Farber, who delivered that game-tying home run in the 8th, the last time the Commodores were here at Lowell Park. Rising junior headed to Auburn in the fall after a year at Texas State. 1-0, rope to the shortstop, control in the backhand by Newstrom. Jump throw to first, off the line. Did Schmidt get there? No, he didn't. Farber extends out the left leg at the moment. That would have been an unbelievable play by Newstrom.
Tried to look like Jeter right there.
Yeah.
Went with the jump throw as he was working towards his right side near the third baseman Osterhaus. Maybe a heat check for Chris Newstrom just as we hype him up a little bit at shortstop. That was a tough play all the way through, though.
Yeah,
puts Barber on first.
You speak about Derek Jeter. It was 25 years ago. He was the All-Star Game MVP in Atlanta back in 2000. After a 3-for-3 day, and the MLB All-Star Game returns there next week. Runners at first and third for the righty Jack Natilli. Pitch goes after the first one, skies it into right center field, into the triangle. Morales on his horse, a diving grab, and he hauls it in. Goes down to two knees, a somersault effort to get out of it in the bottom of the second. No runs across in this frame on just one hit. No errors with two left on base for the Kets. It's 4-3 Cotuit as we go to the top of the third right here on Cape League TV.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Cape Space, Cape Cod 5, Cisco Brewers, Cape Cod Healthcare, Hampton Inn, Franklin Sports, Highline Cruises, Jersey Mike's, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Welcome back to Lowell Park. A beautiful night for baseball, 74 degrees, couple clouds in the air. Infield and outfield completely covered by shade. Cotuit in front of Falmouth 4-3 as we begin the third frame, starting with 3, 4, and 5 for the Commodores against the lefty Rob Evans. Some great defense in that last inning by Falmouth, Ryan, to hopefully spark a little bit of momentum on offense.
Yeah, Justin Osterhaus, the third baseman, catches the pop-up off the bat of Dean West. And then a couple plays later to end the bottom of the second. An awkward slide, but does the job by Antonio Morales over in right field.
Yeah, catch is a catch, and that went down as that third out in the inning to get a runner out of scoring position. Adrian Lopez from the right side to lead things off. The pitch. Fastball he takes on the outer third for a called strike. Lopez has this cool tradition with Jared Saltomachia's daughter, Charlie Saltomachia. Gives her a fist bump on the on-deck circle before every at-bat. 0-1. Ball down for ball one.
But was it Hyannis or Harwich in which Charlie wasn't there and it messed Adrian Lopez up?
I believe it was the Hyannis game on Wednesday. Wasn't there. Didn't have a great game. And Jared said not to have that happen again. 1-1 outside with a fastball. So now she will be to the left of that dugout for the rest of the season, hopefully.
One of the stories we learned at Meet the Coaches event at St. Barnabas Church off Main Street yesterday. Really fun event during a Falmouth off day.
2-1 from Evans, a breaking ball, just missing outside. Got to hear some great insight from Jared Saltomachia, infield coach Quinn Stromberg, as well as hitting coach Jack O'Reilly about their respective first seasons in Falmouth and what brought them here to the Commodores. 3-1, Lopez rockets it into right field. Stevens into the gap, and he makes the catch on the move for out number one. Wind blowing out in that direction just a little bit. Lopez was hoping that one carried a little bit more. Leadoff man retired for the second time for Rob Evans. He'll face the righty Micah New. New, the first base hit for the Commodores last time up. First pitch, high chopper foul, third base side. Rob Evans comes from an interesting story. He was born in Harlem, New York. He grew up playing baseball on concrete fields that would lead to some scars and bruises, but he never really minded that. He said it made him tougher growing up. Definitely got some help from his father about that as well. 0-1 is popped up foul, out of play once more. He said growing up there, you don't get the highest quality of fields, and he said using that resilience to get him out of Harlem, play JUCO his first year, then make that jump up to D1 at Georgia State, and now finding a home at the Power 5 level at Miami. some good stuff. Here's 0-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss against the best hitter on Cape Cod for out number 2.
Ken Schmidt, first baseman, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, someone whose story is becoming slightly more common in terms of just going to different stops collegiately. I mentioned he started at Chipola College for the JUCO route and goes to Georgia State before a great past spring in the ACC at Miami.
He was more of a bullpen guy there. That ERA just north of 4. Might be a starter now after a solid start in this one. First pitch to Kent Schmidt, roped in a first base side and threw for a base hit. Just hit number 3 for the Commodores, but it's the first of the night for Kent Schmidt with a 2-out single.
And that makes it 7 combined runs between these two teams on just 6 combined hits. Not something you'd expect on the scoreboard, but that reads 3-4 already. It's been the free passes for both the lefty with Cotuit and Evans, and the countering southpaw in Falmouth's Matthew Dallas.
It's not the case we saw here the last time we were here, Ryan, where it was a 3-2 ball game. Pitch to Osterhaus, slider is high. Only got 5 combined runs in that one, including the walk-off by Jaron Avincula, who is not in the lineup tonight for Cotuit. 1-0 from Evans. Is a fastball popped up left side of the infield. Johnson, the third baseman, calls everyone off and makes the play with his toes on the infield grass. With a 2-out single, there's no damage for the Commodores. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, 1 left on base. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. Cotuit 4, Falmouth 3. More baseball on the other side on Cape League TV.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Veolia North America, Wilson Sporting Goods, Yawkey Foundation, Netting Pros, Falmouth Publishing Company, Butler Sporting Goods, Sports Picks, Margaritaville Resort Cape Cod, Sunderland Printing, Del Mar Vacation Rentals, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
I'm Mike Anu, outfielder from Marshall University, and you're listening to Commodore Baseball on Cape League TV.
Just about 1 hour down here at Lowell Park, and we have played 2.5 innings with the Kettleers leading 4-3 over the Commodores. Back alongside my partner Ryan Martin. I'm Andrew Del Piana. Lefty Matthew Dallas still out there for the Commodores. A much better second inning, Ryan, after really getting rocked around in that first.
Yeah, faces just 2 above the minimum, Andrew, in the bottom of the second. Does give up the leadoff walk to Luke Lavin and the single to Ryan Barber. But Trans Lavin at third base, I think that was an important response for the Wake Forest southpaw.
That's more the Matthew Dallas we've seen
Absolutely.
in the first 3 games. First pitch to the lefty, and Nolan Stevens is high for ball 1. Stevens gets the start out in right field today. 1-0. Half-hearted swing foul, third base side. Couldn't really commit to a swing or a check on that one. Got a piece of it. Was very highly touted out of high school in Elk Grove, California. The second-ranked first baseman in the country. 1-1. Fastball swung on a miss. Way out in front of that one. He walked back in the first inning, one of the 4 runs to score for the Kettleers in that frame. 1-2. Same pitch, different result. That one just a little bit low on the outside. He gets a new head coach next year in Brian O'Connor after he left Virginia after 25 plus years there in Charlottesville. 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outer third. Great spot for Matthew Dallas for his first strikeout of the ballgame. That is hard to believe for out number 1.
Yeah, sense, as there's only 2 combined strikeouts now for Cotuit. To not have many strikeouts. They're bottom of the league now with 165, but Falmouth, the 207th strikeout. That's second most on Cape Cod, most besides the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
1 gone. Swinging chopper to the left side by Matthews, corralled by the third baseman. Osterhaus zips it over. 2 up, 2 gone for Dallas.
12, Cam Johnson, third baseman, Oklahoma.
Dallas looks to be settling in just a little bit. We're waiting to see him get to that form like we saw him in the Knoxville Regional Final, where he went 7 2/3 innings through 115 pitches, but had 10 strikeouts in that one. Tennessee ended up winning that regional final in a Game 7, but even for Dallas to get them there was impressive. First pitch to the lefty, Johnson is outside for ball 1.
One of the coolest things with collegiate baseball, Andrew, is seeing these guys on Cape Cod and then following them along. You see Matthew Dallas for 6 games in Falmouth, and then to go see Map's success there against Cincinnati was cool to see in his best outing as a college player.
Absolutely. 1-0 to Johnson. There's a fastball outside. McCann has to turn the glove over to even make the grab. Another great night here at Lowell Park. Always draws in a great crowd with bleachers on the left and right side, with people scattered behind the gates as well. 2-0 is outside for ball 3.
I'm talking about one of the best environments on Cape Cod. Lowell Park has done it right, and they've done it right for a while. The huge wooden bleachers on both left and right field. You'd be hard-pressed to find a spot if you come here now into the 3rd inning.
3-0. Take all the way. It's a called strike at the letters. Of course, one of the uniquenesses of this park is one of the 3 in the Cape that does not have lights. So the earliest start on Cape Cod at 5 o'clock. Definitely has its benefits. 3-1. Fouled third base side and out.
Like Falmouth, with Gov Fuller Field, Lowell Park in the village of Cotuit, rests right off of Main Street in Cotuit. These big wooden bleachers that actually welcome in Commodores fans. They changed that sign out for every opponent they have in here.
Yeah, that's the only team in the league I've seen that does that, where the visiting bleachers are welcomed by the visiting fans. You don't see that a whole lot. Payoff pitch on the 3-2 is up the middle. Corralled by Schmidt at second and plays over to first for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Matthew Dallas as we go to the top of the 4th, with Cotuit still in front 4-3 over Falmouth. Right back after this on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, president of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
There was a break in the action here at Lowell Park. First-year manager for the Kettleers, Lauren Hibbs, has been ejected from this ball game. You can still kind of hear him as well, jawing at home plate umpire in Mark Rowan.
So what Hibbs is fighting for, Andrew, again, is the public address announcer at Lowell Park making announcements between the 3rd and the 4th inning, playing music. It was Hibbs who had something to say to home plate umpire and Mark Rowan, and there was I believe, a miscommunication. Rowan was trying to talk with Hibbs, and Hibbs was simply saying, "I can't hear you because of the speakers." Rowan gave him a warning and then an ejection rather quickly back to back. So Hibbs is out of this game for the hosting Kettleers.
Well, we've been at this park for the second time now in 8 days, and Lauren Hibbs has been ejected in both of those. And that was a short leash for him. And his night is over as he retreats back to the third base dugout. The umpire's still standing down the third base line, making sure Hibbs exits the ballpark. What a weird situation that is.
Third opposing manager ejected in the last 7-8 days. Saw as well with Ryan Smythe this past weekend with Wareham at Gov Fuller Field.
So Cotuit manager Lauren Hibbs has been ejected from this ball game as we begin the top of the fourth. Arguing balls and strikes with Mark Rowan, and ejected after he couldn't hear his announcements over the PA. Either way, as we go into the top of the fourth, Cotuit 4, Commodores 3. Lefty on lefty starting with David McCann. Pops one up into right center field. Ogenpole a couple of steps to his right, camps underneath it, and makes the play for out number 1.
Great vantage point of that. That was a quick leash from Rowan.
Yeah.
I think it was a simple miscommunication as well, as
so
Hibbs
too.
was trying to have his point said, but Rowan just heard screaming and didn't understand or have a conversation.
I think, too, Hibbs was trying to be respectful in that of not running out or
That's a
making
big
an
part.
argument.
Yep.
But still.
He didn't want to leave his Kettler dugout.
No. One gone. Ashton Wilston squares the bunt, pulls it back. It's a called strike either way. Lauren Hibbs taking over for manager Mike Roberts, who was very famous here with the Kettleers, over 20 years in Cotuit. One of the most storied franchises here on Cape Cod. 0-1 is slap foul first base side. Most championships in this league was 17. They have a nice tribute to each and every one as you enter Lowell Park with plaques spanning from the third base to the first base side to commemorate each of those championship teams. Has a little description of the head coach, team MVP as well. 0-2, breaking ball taken outside.
One thing that's cool as well is Lowell Park is singularly home to the Cotuit Kettleers. So Gov Fuller Field is where the Commodores play, where Falmouth High School plays, but the benefit of that to the Kets, they can deck out their home dugout with all this history and richness from the past Kettleer teams.
I like that. I didn't even really think of that. 1-2 from Rob Evans is lightly chopped to the shortstop. Matthews running in off balance, fires and makes the play. A nice effort off balance for Matthews for out number 2. And you don't see that a whole lot here on Cape Cod, Ryan, where it's really, that field is here for the summer, and then you still want to put it in different uses for whether that's local high schools in the area, but to have that to your advantage is pretty cool.
Lowell Park certainly well used in the summer months between June and August. You can see how many, we see how many fans here are supporting the Kettleers. But yeah, you look down the left field line, and it's just a ton of different scriptures and writing in the Kettleers dugout.
This park is very well known here on Cape Cod. First pitch to Chris Newstrom, a bouncer in the dirt, gets away over Luke Lavin. It's been here since 1947, one of the older parks on Cape Cod.
Excluding Gov Fuller Field, is this your favorite road venue?
I would say so. It's tremendously kept with the grass as well. When we stepped on for batting practice, it's immediately something you recognize. 1-0, shot foul third base side. I mean, everything is cut to perfection. I really like the scoreboard out in left center as well, with the images as well they can utilize.
It's an interesting park that is technology driven. Again, the only video board on Cape Cod, yet it's just a little hole in the middle of the woods in the village of Cotuit.
1-1. Breaking ball, taken just below the knees by Newstrom. It's surrounded by trees in the area. You look at a Google Maps overhead, there's just trees everywhere. You can't find maybe a piece of land anywhere else other than the road down the street.
We literally parked in the woods.
2-1. Nice looking breaking ball from Evans. Starts at the letters, breaks down to the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top 4. Kettleers leading the Commodores 4-3. 4 runs in the first for Cotuit, 3 in the second for Falmouth. 2-2. Change up low and away. Newstrom, a quick word with Mark Rowan saying, Evans has got to address me first. He has not made eye contact with me during this at bat. Evans takes a long look at him here before the 3-2. Here it is. Fastball, a high chopper to the second base side. Farber on a couple of hops, swings it over, and that is 3 up, 3 down for the Commodores in the top of the 4th. Home half of the inning coming up. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. Still 4-3 Kettleers. We roll along here from Lowell Park. We'll be right back after this.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
I'm Trevor Baumler, right-handed pitcher from TCU, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Bottom 4th here at Lowell Park. It was just first responders night here at the ballpark. Jason Labor, the Mass Lottery hero of the game for the Kettleers. Always great to see so many first responders in attendance as well for this game. As the Kettleers are in front 4-3 over the Commodores as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Back alongside Ryan Martin, I'm Andrew Del Piano.
That Mass State Lottery hero of the game, one of my favorite traditions with the Cape Cod Baseball League. Every Friday, the Kettleers, one of 5 home teams today to wear those red shirt jerseys on Red Shirt Friday.
My favorite part too, Ryan, is they don't wear the team name across the front. It's Cape Cod Baseball League with military appreciation on that left sleeve as well. Matthew Dallas back out there for the Commodores. First pitch of the inning is a ball outside against the righty Taggart Tyson. Rising junior from Louisville. Sun starting to peek through the clouds just a little bit more. 1-0, slider inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Was activated just yesterday after Louisville made a pretty solid run into the NCAA tournament. 2-0 taken outside for ball 3. Thought we were going to get a familiar face this summer as well, Ryan, after the College World Series in Zion Rose, but he's currently playing for USA Baseball. Also another Louisville Cardinal. 3-0. Up and away for ball 4. That is the 3rd 4-pitch walk for Matthew Dallas. And if you include the hit by pitch in the 1st, that is his 4th free pass. Nobody gone in the bottom of the 4th. 4-3 Cotuit, leadoff man on in Tyson. Here's the lefty, Luke Lavin. Pitch. Just above the letters for ball 1.
Make it now 3 of 4 innings in which the Cotuit Kettleers leadoff batter gets on via a Matthew Dallas free pass.
Took full advantage of that in the 1st with a 4-run frame. 1-0. Slider, beautifully looking from Dallas. It's in there for a strike. Won the count to Lavin. Also walked in the 2nd. Pitch. Slider, just missing above the zone. Dallas asking for a quick explanation on that one for Mark Rowan, who's
Already had a busy day behind home plate with the ejection of Lauren Hibbs a little bit earlier, the Cotuit manager. Check at first, gotten a rundown with Tyson. Throw down to second. The tag is in time. Is that move we were talking about for Matthew Dallas a little bit earlier, Ryan? He executed that to perfection.
Exactly right. I think it's part of the pitching style with Dallas being a bit more nonchalant than most pitchers, whether it is lefty or righty. So he goes into the usual wind, and then we've alluded to it already. The advantage lefties have facing first base just throws over to Ken Schmidt.
There is out number one. 2-1 back to home is outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to the lefty, Luke Lavin. Appeared in just 27 games this past year for the Cardinal, mostly midweek. 3-1. Slap foul, out of play, third base side. Did get to hit his first home run at the collegiate level in April against UC Davis after not getting one out of the yard his freshman year. Dallas is 3-2 from the windup. The pitch. Lavin shot right back up the middle, threw for a base hit. Dallas had to be careful on that one. He almost kind of turned to get away from it. But it's a 1-out single for Lavin, the 9-hitter.
That could be it for Matthew Dallas. Jared Saltamaki comes to the top of the dugout with the Commodores after having a quick word with home plate umpire Mark Rowan, who again we already alluded to has already tossed out Lauren Hibbs from the Kettleer dugout.
Yeah, Saltamaki is standing on that top step. No movement from that first base dugout just yet. He's pondering to his right.
Is he trying to buy some more time for the Commodores' next arm and the Falmouth bullpen down the right side? Maybe he'll actually give one more batter for Dallas.
He stays on that top step for the moment as he looks on. As the top of the lineup comes through for the third time for the Kettleers with the lefty Dean West. The pitch, slider, called strike.
Maybe just wanted a better vantage point.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Who doesn't? 0-1. Called strike of the knees to West. So Dallas, after seeing his manager come to the top step, saying, hey, I got to lock in a little bit if I want to see another batter. Lefty on lefty with a runner on first and 1 out. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs. Lavin the runner on first after that 1-out single. Bottom 4 here from Lowell Park. Cotuit 4, Falmouth 3. Third meeting of the season between these two squads, splitting the first 2. They'll face off twice. 1-2. Slider, slapped the other way by West, hooking and tailing foul. 2 more meetings after this, I should say. Coming a little bit later in July. Then on the final game of the regular season for the postseason hits.
And you so rarely see this in the Cape League schedule where 2 teams face off 3 times in 8 days. It's a one and only time this will happen for both Cotuit and Falmouth.
Another 1-2. There's a breaking ball outside. Both teams currently in a playoff position right now. Falmouth just 2 points out of first place against Hyannis. And Cotuit slowly working their way up, currently in the 4th spot, but the Gatemen right on their hip, a game out. 2-2. Another fastball just high. That strike zone for West a little smaller. He only stands at 5'10", 180 pounds. You mentioned he's been that smaller guy his entire baseball life, and it's used it as motivation. 3-2. Gets a piece of it off the end of the bat and sends it out of the ballpark.
Maybe a mindset that Cotuit's had overall. Andrew has a calendar flip from June to July. Kettleer team that started just 1-7. Now they've gone 7, 3, and 2 since then.
Yep. 5-2-1 the month of July by itself. 3-2. Just outside. A well-earned walk for Dean West. And Saltamaki looking down the first base line. And he is going to exit. And that will be the day for Matthew Dallas. He is responsible for the runners on first and second. We'll tell you who the new reliever is for the Commodores after a short break here on Cape League TV. Cotuit in front 4-3 in the bottom of the fourth. We'll be right back.
I'm Jackson Manesco, left-handed pitcher from Bryant, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Little spoiler alert to who gets the baseball for Falmouth. It is Jackson Vanesco, the redshirt senior from Bryant, the left-hander. Takes over for another left-hander in Matthew Dallas. Vanesco, his fourth appearance out of the bullpen, a 5.68 ERA. He's gotten rocked around a little bit in 6 1/3. He's more of a pitch to contact kind of guy, Ryan, and he takes over with Cotuit leading 4-3 in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, for Vanesco, that's exactly what happened in his most recent appearance. He was part of that weird 9-9 tie at YD that was called after 8 innings because of darkness. He came in after a poor outing from Devin Sheeran. Vanesco, the left-hander from Bryant, followed him up with 2 1/3 innings pitched, gave up the 3 hits, as you mentioned, a contact pitcher. 2 earned runs while only striking out 1, did give up that homer as well.
Well, he inherits the runners at first and second, Lavin at second, West at first. Still just 1 gun. So here's Caden Bogenpole. The pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. It's a 4-pitch mix for Vanesco. Fastball about half the time, changeup about a quarter. Also working in a cutter a little bit more this past year with the Bulldogs at 20%, and a slider as well. Here's 0-1. Bounces out of the glove of McCann, trickles towards the dugout, and that gets away. Runners advance up to second and third. So a great chance here for Caden Bogenpole to extend this Kettleers lead. He's only got 6 RBIs so far this season. 0 for 2 in this one. He is really on a cold streak right now. 0 for his last 13. 1-1, rolled over foul, first base side. And ever since that 19-run game against Brewster right here at this ballpark, Ryan, he's slowed down just a little bit. Still, that power is still there. We talked about him breaking the school home run record set by Ryan Howard, an all-time Phillies great.
And Bogenpole now 0 for his last 13 since going 4 for 5 in that monster win over the Whitecaps.
1-2, breaking ball called, strike 3. Make it 0 for 14 with a backwards K and a huge second out for the Commodores.
Vanesco not a high strikeout guy either, Andrew. Now in his 4th appearance, that's only strikeout number 5 on the campaign to 3 walks issued.
Well, it comes at a huge time with 2 ducks on the pond. Infield goes back to their respective positions after coming in with 1 out. Switch hitter Ryan Farber, first pitch inside. He's 1 for 2 with a single in the second. One-0. Inside for ball 2 with a slider. He's one of those guys, Ryan, that is making that jump from the Sun Belt to the SEC. There was a born left hitter, a left pitcher, I should say, Alex Valentine, who's also going from Texas State to the SEC. 2-0. It's away for ball 3. He'll be going to South Carolina in the fall, while Farber goes to Auburn.
Name sounds familiar to Commodores fans because Valentine had a pretty poor effort for the Bravos at Gov Fuller Field against Falmouth a couple games ago.
3-0 count to Farber. The pitch. He takes it low and inside for ball 4. That is now the 6th walk allowed by the Falmouth staff. And it is the last guy you want to see at home plate right now in Jackson Attili. Bases loaded. The pitch. Takes a ball inside. His numbers have been ridiculous as of late. We touched on that first at bat. 2 grand slams in the last 3 games. 5 home runs total in his last 4 contests. That is jolting him up to 2nd most on Cape Cod. 1-0. Fastball, check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did, said first base umpire Robert McHugh.
Video game numbers for the big righty in Attili. This much power at the dish, the bases loaded, and this was a 1-run Kettleer lead. This might be the most emphatic moment that Vanesco's pitched on Cape Cod.
No doubt so far. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Janbum with the slider inside. Attili, the big thing he does do is in between at-bats, he'll reset everything. The batting gloves, the arm sleeve, and he said during this hot streak, the biggest thing is taking more time in between pitches. Makes him a little mentally sharper. 1-2, swing up the middle. He's done it again. 1 run comes in. Dean West right behind him. And Jackson Attili continues to square up the baseball. It's a 2-run single, and the Kettleers take a 6-3 lead in the bottom of the 4th.
You just got to look away at a couple of these moments if you are a Commodores fan. Just like Matthew Dallas did with the bases loaded in the first inning. He gets 2 strikes with 2 outs on a Kettleer hitter, but then the Ket just comes through. We saw that with the 3 RBI single for Luke Matthews in the first. Now a 2-run single with 2 outs for Jack Attili.
Vanesco looking for the bounce back at bat, a called strike to Nolan Stevens. I mean, Ryan, this is a Cotuit team we talked about in the early parts of the season that couldn't save their life with a runner in scoring position.
Couldn't buy a win either.
0-1, runner from second takes off. It's a ball outside, throw down to third, a little bit high for Osterhaus. He corrals it in, but no play made on the tag. Farber beats it out on the stolen base. There was a point where Cotuit was about 15 or so games into the season, was hitting less than 100 with runners in scoring position and less than 10 RBIs as well. That has not been the case here tonight. Vanesco a check at third, the 1-1 breaking ball inside. Stevens has to limbo out of the way. Already Cotuit 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Of course, you think about that 3-run single that Matthews had in the first. 2-1. Fastball popped up right side of the infield. Schmidt drifting back just in front of Morales, and he makes the play for out number 3. So the Kettleers come through with 2 outs once more. The 2-run single by Jackson Attili has made it a 6-3 Cotuit lead as we go to the top of the 5th. It is 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, with 2 left on base. Time of the top half of the fifth. Cotuit up by 3.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
I'm Carl Schmidt, utility player from the University of California, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
New pitcher on the bump for Cotuit with a 6-3 advantage in his back pocket. It's the right-hander, the rising senior from Bucknell, making his Cape League debut, Jonathan Adelman. He is a huge figure, Ryan. 6'7", 250 pounds. Coming off his best season at Bucknell. Was just over a 2 ERA in 34 innings pitched. Also had 5 saves as well, so you know he is a leverage guy. First 3 to meet him is the top of the lineup, starting with Carl Schmidt. Turning into a dim night here at Lowell Park, where it's completely shaded on the baseball diamond. Adelman has his sign from Lavin. He winds and throws. Schmidt, a chopper to the left side. Matthews on a couple of hops at short. Fires across for out number 1. That was pretty easy from Jonathan Adelman. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Can't be much more efficient than your first batter faced on Cape Cod for Adelman, who you were exactly right, the rising senior from Bucknell. He almost looks like a bison as well at that 6'7", 250 frame.
And is a big dude, similar to the stature of Matthew Dallas, the starter for the Commodores. 1 gone in the top of the 5th. Here is the lefty Antonio Morales. He's 0 for 2 in this ball game. Thing too about Adelman, he is very patient between pitches. That pitch clock getting down to 3. He throws, and Morales takes a called strike on the inner third. He pitched in the Appalachian League last year. Only got 4 games. 0-1. Breaking ball fouled back behind home plate. And a guy that took a massive jump from that sophomore year to his junior year, Ryan. He had over a 7 ERA 2 years ago. Completely has flipped that around. Some incredible numbers in the Patriot League. His 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss by Morales. Jammed him on a slider inside for his first strikeout on Cape Cod. And that is good enough for out number 2. That slider has a lot of break to it.
It's only the second strikeout today by a Commodores batter either. So a lot of balls in play, but good defense as we expected from this Cotuit starting 9.
Best fielding percentage in the league entering this one with just 17 RBIs. Did have one a little bit earlier. Newstrom did not come in to score, though, on that E6. Here's the righty Adrian Lopez with 2 outs. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Pumps the fastball by him at 92. First two retired in the fifth for the Commodores, who trail 6-3 to the Kettleers. Cotuit took game one of this series, then Falmouth followed the next day with a victory on the 4th of July. 0-1, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Lopez down 0-2.
That's that changeup that Adelman's become known for a little bit. It's got a really odd grip on it. It's got a kick change grip, which makes it almost look a little bit like a knuckleball. Really fooled Lopez there.
That is tough for hitters. Does he throw it on the 0-2? Pitch. Goes to the breaking ball here, gets away. Check swing from Lopez. The appeal not successful. Robert McHugh, the first base umpire, said he did not go around. Lopez has really impressed in the last week or so, has jumped up that on-base percentage to 42%, top 10 on Cape Cod. 1-2 from Adelman. Is a called strike three. Goes to the slider on the 1-2 count, and it is back-to-back strikeouts. And his first inning on Cape Cod is a success, going 1-2-3. We roll on to the bottom of the fifth. We are halfway home in this one. Ryan Martin has you the rest of the way, with the Kettleers in front 6-3 over the Commodores. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic clam shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and kid-friendly option. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, President of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
Hi, I'm Coleman Mizell, outfielder from Alabama, and you're watching Commodores baseball on KTV.
We welcome you back to Elizabeth Lowell Park in the beautiful village of Cotuit on Cape Cod. The Falmouth Commodores down 3-6 now to the Kettleers, taking a big lead now into the bottom of the 5th inning. Alongside Andrew Del Piano, I'm Ryan Martin on Cape League TV. Jackson Vanesco, the southpaw out of Bryant and rising senior, getting ready for his second inning of work and has 6, 7, and 8 due up in this Kettleers order. It starts with the righty from Kent State in Luke Matthews.
Luke Matthews, shortstop, Kent State. Matthews, number 6.
So Cotuit plated 4 in the bottom of the first, added 2 more in the bottom of the 4th. Falmouth had 9 consecutive batters retired, so it's still a 6-3 lead for the Kettleers. First pitch from Vanesco. Fastball upstairs on Matthews. For this 6-3 lead, it's Matthews who could have the swing so far of the day. A 3-run single in the first inning got things started. 1-0. Changeup cracked back out of play, foul.
That also closes the book on Matthew Dallas as well. He goes 3 1/3. 4 hits, 5 earned runs, but the biggest glaring issue was those 5 walks he allowed, Ryan. It was a very strange game from Dallas where command was just not there.
1-1. Fastball racked into center field. A few steps to the left for Mike Gnu is all it takes for out number 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Bit of an uncharacteristic game as well for Dallas. He exits now with a 3.65 ERA, but he entered with a 0 ERA through 9 innings pitched. And he only had 2 walks across his first 3 appearances and now has 5 in appearance number 4. Lefty on lefty with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. A 6-3 Cotuit lead over Falmouth is what the score reads in time for Oklahoma's Camden Johnson from the left side. Jackson's first offering. Bunch shown there by Johnson, but he pulls it back. Still in the zone, strike 1. Vanesco, the rising redshirt senior at Bryant, has shown all pitches now in his 4-pitch mix of a fastball, changeup, cutter, and slider. His 0-1. Fastball grounded over to the second baseman Schmidt. Gets it right from his position and throws it over to first base in time for out number 2.
definitely feels like a little bit calmer of an inning as well for Vanescu, who came in with those runners at first and second. And really the big blow of that last inning was that 2-run single by Jack Natilli. Yeah, it's been those little moments for the Commodores that have just expanded into bigger consequences tonight.
The free pass as well.
Yeah.
First pitch to Taggart Tyson. Changeup swung on a miss by the righty swinging first baseman.
And give a lot of credit too to the Kettleers for coming up in those situations and delivering when they need to.
It's a Kettleers lineup that walks the second most of anyone on Cape Cod. 0-1 is spiked in the dirt. David McCann, the backstop, blocks it. He's going to need to take a second after falling towards his right. He'll shake off the first ball thrown.
Now that one skipped a little bit weird, just below the chest protector.
It was the cutter for Jackson Modesto that fooled his own battery mate in McCann. McCann settles back down though, gets in position for this 1-1 righty on lefty with Taggart Tyson, first baseman who's 0 for 1 today. Modesto's 1-1. Changeup inside for a ball. Tyson making his Cape League debut, rising junior in the transfer portal after spending 2 years at Louisville. Looks in, the 2-1. Fastball lined into left field. Ashton Wilson comes onto it and will make the catch on the run for out number 3. A couple pieces of decent contact for the Kettler bats, but it's still 6, 7, and 8 going down in order for Cotuit. It's what Falmouth needed as the Commodores still trail by 3. We'll look to work on that entering the 6th inning right here on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic Clam Shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and kid-friendly option. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just one click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store located at 147 T-Ticket Highway and try a slice.
I'm Adrian Lopez, an infielder from University of Southern California, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
With you on a Friday night from Lowell Park in the village of Cotuit, where the vibes are high and the score is getting there as well. Falmouth Commodores down 6-3 to the hosting Cotuit Kettleers. Kettleers go down in order in the bottom of the 5th, so now in the top of the 6th, it's 5, 6, and 7 to finally provide some offense for Falmouth, going up against the right-handed pitcher Jonathan Adelman into his 2nd inning of work. Alongside Andrew Del Piano, I'm Ryan Martin, back on Cape League TV. It starts off with the Arkansas center fielder Mike Anu. 1 for 2 so far today for a Commodores lineup that's seen 9 consecutive batters retired by the end of the start for Rob Evans, and the first couple batters faced for Jonathan Adelman. So here's the righty on righty with Adelman. Again, that size is imposing. 6'7", 250, standing on the third base side of the bump. His first offering, fastball, skied into left center field. Left fielder Dean West looks at it. Instead, he's going to wave it off for the center fielder Caden Bogenpole. Will pull it down without much trouble. Some loud contact for Mike Anu, but it's the first out in the 6th.
He's had a couple of that this season, and of course, you'll never complain with a guy hitting 7 home runs in the span of 20 games or so. There's definitely been a couple Anu would want back, and he's just barely missing that ball. And we heard from Jack O'Reilly last night that really can make the biggest difference in that change to the wooden bat.
And we'll talk to him at batting practice, too, with Mike Anu. He'll have the biggest smile on his face. No, he could easily be in double digits right now, just off more barrel of the wooden bat. First pitch to Kent Schmidt. The changeup runs inside on the Georgia Tech lefty. Cotuit 6, Falmouth 3. Early into the 6th inning from Lowell Park. The skies and clouds going darker over a good Friday night crowd. Of course, Cotuit, one of the 3 ballparks on Cape Cod without lights. We'll see if we get a full 9 here. Adelman's 0-1. Let's change up inside, correct that. Make it now 2 balls, no strikes. Ken Schmidt has 1 of just 3 hits on the day for Falmouth. That came in his last plate appearance in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 with a fly out to his resume as well. Adelman looks in his 2-0. Fastball, catches the outer third of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Adelman dealing so far in this appearance. He's retired the first 5 batters he faced. The rising senior of Bucknell and Mount Laurel, New Jersey native. Just get his first warning from home plate umpire Mark Rowan. Rowan's had a couple confrontations today. This one is about Adelman not addressing the batter and Schmidt for this lefty on righty. 2-1. Fastball, lined the opposite way, into left field, down for a base hit. Ken Schmidt will take the turnaround first base, pump the brakes over there. The big first baseman's over at his defensive counterpart position, but then this one gets away. A throw over to second base, and Ken Schmidt is out at second. The throw gets away from the shortstop, Luke Matthews, covering the second base bag. Ken Schmidt thinks it was far enough for him to go from first to second. It certainly was not. And a throw over to Matthews, and plenty of time for a single, then out number 2.
Yeah, Kent just trying to do too much there, where he was thinking 2 right off the bat, but it was a great play by West to relay that back in quickly, and it was a bad throw, but it just didn't get away from him far enough.
Do make Ken Schmidt 2 for 3 so far today. There's a first pitch to Justin Osterhaus. It's a ball that runs outside on the lefty. And Ken Schmidt, not a guy you'd think would take off from first to second, standing at 6 foot 220. But tries it and comes up empty. Adelman's 1-0. Here it is. It's a changeup, runs outside again on the Alabama third baseman in Justin Osterhaus. Osterhaus so far today was hit by a pitch and scored as part of that 3-run second inning for the Commodores. Then popped out to third to end the 3rd. Adelman's 2-0. Fastball chopped at over home plate and rolls foul. Three runs on 4 hits with an error for Falmouth. 6 runs on 5 hits with a matching error for Cotuit. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Falmouth looking for some offense here. He's got it in Ken Schmidt, but he was picked off. 2-1, swing and a miss for Justin Osterhaus. Exactly right when the Commodores found some offense in the single from Schmidt. He got a little too aggressive.
Yeah, it's plays like that that can really kill momentum when you're guaranteed a runner on first after a nice at bat, but then you lose it on the base pass.
Deuce is wild here for Adelman. The pitch. Change up, late on it is Osterhaus. It goes out of play down the left field line. David McCann waits on deck should he be needed in the top of the 6th. Virginia Tech catcher looking to come up and have his first hit in this game. Osterhaus looking to just continue the half inning. Adelman's 2-2. The pitch. Fastball lined right into the Commodores' dugout down the first base line. Couple pitches fouled off for Justin Osterhaus. That one went off the bat at 100 miles an hour.
That felt like a lot more than that. That was a loud crack.
Adelman hasn't induced much serious contact. He had the single to left for Ken Schmidt. Maybe even the fly out of batter before to Mike Anu provided some pressure. He could get out of it right here. The 2-2. Curveball goes away from the catcher and Luke Lavin. Count runs full with 2 gone in the 6th. Osterhaus looking to potentially reach via a free pass for the 2nd time in 3 plate appearances. He again was hit in the 2nd. Paddle off. Here's a called strike 3. Adelman freezes him for his 3rd strikeout across the last 5 batters. It's been 6 up, 6 down for Jonathan Adelman, and Falmouth is still silenced. We go to the home half of the 6th inning. Cotuit looks to build on a 6-3 lead from Lowell Park. We return on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic Clam Shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and kid-friendly option. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just one click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store located at 147 T-Ticket Highway and try a slice today.
I'm Bear Harrison, catcher from Texas A&M College, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
After a high-scoring first half of this game, the offenses have seemed to settle down from Lowell Park in the village of Cotuit on Cape Cod. Falmouth Commodores down 6-3 to the hosting Cotuit Kettleers. It's a Ket's lineup that looks to now add to its 3-run lead with 9-1-2 due up to face Jackson Vanesco, the Bryant lefty, into his third inning of work. Alongside Andrew Delapiana, I'm Ryan Martin saying thanks so much for spending your Friday evening with us right here on Cape League TV. Here's Luke Lavin. He's gotten on base in both of his plate appearances so far today. Looks to do it for the second time against Jackson Vanesco. Lefty on lefty to start the home half of the sixth. Vanesco kicks and deals for the first time. Change-up, swing and miss from Lavin. Lavin, California native and rising junior at Stanford. 0-1. Fastball middle for a called strike. This is the confidence and efficiency through two quick pitches that we haven't seen through for Vanesco through the past two innings. His 0-2. Changeup just runs outside on the lefty Lavin.
It's a really good spot against a lefty, especially on 0-2 where it's more so a waste pitch. And that one is close to the zone, but a really tough take.
0-2 on the catcher, 1-2 on the catcher, runs outside again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To the Stanford Cardinal and Luke Lavin. Lavin singled and scored 2 innings ago. It's part of a 2-run fourth inning for the Cats. The 2-2 is chopped at over to the third baseman and Justin Osterhaus. Throws it across the diamond and plenty of time to get Lavin out for the first out in the bottom of the sixth.
36, Dean West, left fielder, UCLA at the top of the order.
So it's a lefty-heavy lineup today for first-year Cotuit manager Lauren Hibbs, who is out of this game after being ejected in the third inning. But here's another lefty at the top of the order in UCLA's Dean West. Vanesco's first offering is a fastball on the inner third for a called strike.
That felt like forever ago as well.
Yep.
That was early in this ball game.
It's been a long 5.5 innings and change now. 0-1 is nubbed off the end of the bat by West. He'll go foul towards the Kettleers dugout on the third base side. 6-3 Cotuit into the bottom of the sixth inning. This game's started to speed up a little bit with both pitchers and Adelman for Cotuit and Vanesco for Falmouth having their way. The 0-2. Change-up. It's cracked over to the shortstop in Newstrom. Throws across his body and in time for out number 2.
19, Cape Cod.
Couple of groundouts on the left side. Now make it 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth for Cotuit. Caden Bogenpole, Missouri State center fielder, looks to extend the inning. Another lefty on lefty. Jackson Vanesco looks for a 7th straight retired. His first pitch runs outside. Vanesco from Ocean City, New Jersey. Stands at 6'4", 205 pounds on the third base side of the rubber. His 1-0. Change up inside on an even bigger guy in the lefty box. It's the 6'6", 240-pound Bojanpol. Two guys who I think have been told for a couple of times, hey, yeah, I'm an athlete, but no, I don't play basketball. Vanesco's 2-0. Kicks and deals. Big swing and a miss on the changeup by Bojanpol.
Must hit a lot. They had a lot on door frames.
Can't say I relate too often.
Yeah,
but
me and you are both in that category. We're working on it, though.
Vanesco's 2-1. Chopped into right field. Down for a base hit. Morales will get to it near the right field line. A 2-out single for Caden Bojanpol. His first hit of the game. Puts a runner on first for Cotuit.
Number 33, Ryan Farmer.
So again, that breaks a streak of 6 consecutive Kettleer batters retired by Jackson Vanesco. The Bryant left-hander now works from the stretch against Auburn's Ryan Barber. Long look over at Bojanpol at first. He'll do it again before his first delivery. Change up inside on the righty swing Barber. You were mentioning it as well, the switch hitting Barber will be at Auburn this fall. The rising junior just spent 2 seasons at Texas State, being a San Antonio native. He's got Bojanpol at first base. Not a ton of speed there, but a runner. 1-0. Runs outside again on Vanesco. Dips into the dirt in the lefty batter's box, and the righty Barber watches it for a 2-0 count. Bojanpol with about a stride and a half lead off of first. Vanesco doesn't care, it's a 2-0. He lined into the middle of the infield, but the second baseman, Carl Schmidt, gets it. And after just taking 2 steps, he pulls it out on the run for out number 3. 2-out single for Caden Bojanpol extends the 6th inning, but not by much. It's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Cats. Still a 6-3 Cotuit advantage as we enter the 7th inning, right here on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, President of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
Whether you own a car, home, business, or investment property, it's critical you keep it secure and protected. Since 1989, our friends at Northeast Insurance Solutions have been the trusted insurance agency to serve the Commonwealth. Visit them on the web at insurewithnortheast.com or at their offices, 100 Ledgewood Place in Rockland.
I'm Ben Royo, shortstop from Texas A&M University, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Top of the 7th inning from Elizabeth Lowell Park in the village of Cotuit. Kettleers up 6-3 over the Commodores in a game that slowed down for both teams in this West Division battle. Alongside my partner Andrew Delapiana, our producer Dan Papillo, I'm Ryan Martin here for Cape League TV, where the bottom third of the order is due up. David McCann, Ashton Wilson, and Chris Newstrom, respectively, for a new pitcher on the bump for the Kettleers. It's the rising graduate student out of Charlotte and Chase Carson. Lefty Carson continues what's been 3 southpaws today for the Kettleers, all with some serious size. Carson stands at 6'4", 210 pounds. He is draft eligible for the draft that comes just this Sunday.
He was phenomenal this past year with the 49ers. 64 strikeouts in over 50 innings.
He's got some mileage on that left arm. Over 50 innings pitched at Charlotte. Battle of two draft-eligible guys now with the lefty David McCann. First offering, fastball, swing and a miss on the outer third by McCann. Lefty out of Virginia Tech, 0 for 1 so far today. He was also part of that big bottom of the second for the top of the second for the Commodores. He walked and scored. 0-1 is grounded over the first baseman, and Tyson will go past his glove into right field for a base hit. Good effort there by Taggart Tyson, making his Cape League debut at first, but the catcher McCann is on to first base with a leadoff single.
Good effort over there by Tyson. He kind of hesitated a little bit to see if that one was going to be Farber's ball, kind of in that weird spot between second and first. And he gave it a go. Couldn't get there in time, though.
Just the second leadoff single, or leadoff hit overall, and fifth hit for Falmouth now into the top of the 7th inning. McCann's off of first base for the righty, Ashton Wilson. Carson takes one look, and his first offering is grounded into the dirt. Good stop by the catcher, Luke Lavin, to keep McCann up at first base.
How about a first Cape appearance, too, for John Adelman, who goes 2 scoreless innings, just allowing the 1 hit and 3 strikeouts. Great job by him to set the tone in his first game.
3 pitchers today used for Cotuit, all making their Cape League debut. 1 out is lined down the right field side. It'll go out of play for Ashton Wilson.
And that's something Lauren Hibbs has been doing a whole lot this season, where guys will be activated. You know, it's either next day or day before. They're immediately plugged in the lineup. That's pitchers and hitters included.
Miami lefty Rob Evans started this game, going 4 innings and allowing 3 runs for Cotuit. And you mentioned the line for Adelman. Here's the first that we see from Chase Carson. With McCann off first base is 1-1. Changeup weighted back on, but fouled down the right side by Wilson.
I think, too, he uses that to an advantage of there hasn't been a lot of guys here on Cape Cod that have seen their stuff yet. So it's more so the word of mouth and the scouting report of, hey, what did you see from this guy at school ball that he might be utilizing something a little bit different as they come down here for the summer.
Versus a guy like Matthew Dallas, who's facing this Kettleers lineup as a starter for Falmouth, second time in 7 days. 1-2. Changeup is going to be fouled down the left side by Wilson. Count still reads 1 ball, 2 strikes. In that line for Matthew Dallas, he entered without giving up an earned run through his first 3 appearances and 9 innings pitched. Then, against his Kettleer lineup that saw him just 7 days ago on the 4th of July, he only goes 3 1/3, gives up 4 hits and 6 earned runs. Big number there is 5 walks for the Wake Forest lefty. David McCann off first base in the 6-3 Cotuit lead. Ashton Wilson from the left side. Looking throw over to Taggart Tyson at first base, but McCann slides back in safely. Wilson's 1 for 2. He's had his biggest hit so far as a Commodore. His first 2 RBI came on a single in the 2nd inning. Scored David McCann, who's now at first base for him again. Lefty Carson looks, kicks the 1-2. He's again lined out of play, spoiled by the Florida Gator and Ashton Wilson. Wilson coming off his best season in Gainesville. Saw 40 games for Florida. Now a rising senior who started his career at Charleston Southern. Been a little bit everywhere. Now we see him in his 5th game with the Commodores. The 1-2 again. Is skied into left field. Dean West is going back, but he'll just watch this one. It's a 2-run home run for Ashton Wilson. His first homer on Cape Cod. Brings Falmouth within 1. It's 6-5 Cotuit. Wilson give him a 4 RBI day and his first long ball of the summer.
That's how you put your team right back in the ball game. And he even references back to Chris Newstrom as well. That was a cutter that really missed in the lower half of the zone, and Wilson knew it was gone for the jump. And after the struggles he's had in the first couple of games, his only 2 hits have been singles. That one over the bullpen out in left field.
First long ball in this game. That gives us the 11th combined run on a 346 2-run home run for Ashton Wilson over his defensive counterpart, Dean West, in left field. Here's the first pitch to Chris Newstrom. It's a fastball taken on the outer third. It's a get-right game so far for Ashton Wilson. He'd entered 0 for his last 9. Now make him 2 for 3 on the day with 4 runs batted in. 4 of the Commodores is 5. 0-1 to the righty Newstrom. Changeup, can't catch the outer third of the zone for Chase Carson, who has now given up his first 2 earned runs on Cape Cod. Again, he's making his Cape League debut as well, the rising graduate student at Charlotte. So looking for his first out of the summer. No one gone in the top of the 7th. 1-1 to Newstrom. Changeup waited on and cracked over to the third baseman in Johnson. Throws it across the diamond in time to retire Newstrom. And there is that first out on Cape Cod for Chase Carson.
Great, Carl Schmidt. Cal Berkeley, second base.
So now Chase Carson faces the top of the Commodores lineup for the first time. Here's the Cal Berkeley second baseman, Carl Schmidt. He's looking for his first hit on the day. With Schmidt, we're not used to saying that in the 7th inning. First pitch to Schmidt. Changeup, watched that, and on the outer third of the zone for a ball.
He's been that leadoff guy that feels like gets on every single time in that first inning or third time. I should say back in that 3rd inning.
The 1-0 to the righty is same pitch, same location, and same result. 2 balls, no strikes, as the lefty Carson can't find it on the outer third. Even with the 0 for 3 so far today, Carl Schmidt still a .308 average on the summer through 20 games. 20 of a possible 22. 2-0. Changeup goes low. Schmidt hasn't taken the bat off the right shoulder, and it hasn't mattered. It's 3 balls, no strikes to the leadoff man.
He left the bases loaded 2 in the 2nd after that pop-up. The second baseman, Farber.
Farber actually dropped it as well,
yeah,
but with the infield fly rule in effect. 3-0. Is a strike taken on the inner third. Schmidt just watches it into the glove from the right side. Righty on lefty between Schmidt and Carson. 3 balls, 1 strike with 1 out in the top of the 7th. The pitch is spoiled back out of play by Schmidt. It's now a 1-run game between the Kettleers and Commodores for the first time since the 4th inning. Chase Carson now taking his time on the mound. Third base side of the rubber for the payoff. It's a full count walk for Carl Schmidt. Carson can't find the outer third of his own on changeup. Carl Schmidt retakes the spot at first base. Now a quick word at the mound for Chase Carson, the lefty.
Veolia North America offers a full spectrum of water, waste, and energy management services, including water.
Is a righty warming up in the Cotuit bullpen.
Resource recovery.
Would be the 4th Kettleer pitcher we see in this game, but the first righty, if that move is made by Cotuit.
This is pitching coach Tim Connor out for a quick word.
And you got to think he's the guy who could be making the changes now.
Yeah.
Remember, Lauren Hibbs, first-year manager for the Kettleers, was ejected midway through the 3rd inning. Talking and arguing balls and strikes with home plate umpire Mark Rowan. Rowan gave him a warning while the public address announcer made his announcements and played music. Hibbs says, "I can't hear you. I can't hear if you're warning me." And Rowan gives him a quick toss about an hour ago in real time. So here's Antonio Morales from the left side. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Falmouth chasing by 1. It's 6-5 Cotuit. Carl Schmidt has some speed at first base. Before this lefty on lefty, Carson looks at him, delivers. It's a fastball on the inner third of his own for the strike. Morales making his transfer to Maryland after 2 years at Wake Forest. So far today, he's 0 for 3. Big moment now. Falmouth down by just 1. Carson will throw over to Schmidt at first base. But the Cal second baseman slides in safely.
And that's the 3rd-team All-American from Northeastern, Charlie Walker, warming up in the bullpen for Cotuit. Saw him last time here at Lowell Park as well.
Good amount of righties in this middle third of the order for Falmouth. We'll see when the plug is pulled by Tim O'Connor, the Cotuit pitching coach. 0-1. It's a strike. Carl Schmidt goes on the play. The throw over from the catcher Lavin will go to the opposite side of second base. It's a stolen base for Kent Schmidt with 1 out in the top of the 7th. He's now in scoring position as the game-tying run.
I think Carl caught a little bit of a break there as well. Didn't get a great jump, and that throw is more towards the third base side of the bag. And if Matthews didn't have to reach over initially, he might have got him.
Schmidt now 5 for 5 on stolen base attempts this summer. He's on second base now for Antonio Morales. The 0-2. Morales swings through the pitch, maybe get a piece of it, but Lavin can't squeeze it in for strike 3. Count still reads no balls, 2 strikes. Morales played against Maryland twice with Wake Forest this past March. He went 0 for 5 but did score 2 runs. Now he's been a stud this season for the Commodores. 20 games played, an average just under 300. 0-2 is fouled off of home plate by Morales. He stays alive.
I think he hit that twice. On the initial swing, deflected off a home plate, then he swung back at it.
Spun through his shoes from the lefty box. Just 5'9", 175 pounds for the rising junior. Did a 180, but still sees the 0-2. Carson, deep breath, look over at Schmidt at second, and delivers. Check swing from Morales. Hit off the fencing in the Kettleers dugout down the third base side. Chase Carson is draft eligible again. He'll play his graduate year next spring. Started his career at State Fair Community College near his hometown of Topeka, Kansas, before transferring over to the 49ers. Adrian Lopez waits on deck, seeing what Antonio Morales will do. Here's the 0-2. Change up. Slammed into center field. Caden Bogenpole camps under it after taking a few steps to his right and pulls down out number 2. No advancement from Carl Schmidt at second.
Southern Cal, the DH, number 18, Adrian Lopez.
Here's Adrian Lopez. Looks up to the sky and takes a deep breath before walking over to the righty batter's box.
Also some action too in Falmouth's bullpen. Jacob Schultz, the lefty, warms up as well.
11 runs combined between these two teams and a 6-5 Cotuit advantage. 2 outs in the top of the 7th, but it's turned into a pitcher's duel between some of these relievers used by both teams. See if Schultz is the next man up for the Commodores when he's used. First pitch to the righty Lopez. It's fouled into the home plate netting. Lopez DHing today out of USC. He's 0 for 3. 2 of his plate appearances have led to the end of an inning. A ground out in the first and a strikeout in the 5th. Ended things as he now looks to extend the 7th with 2 outs. Carl Schmidt watches on from second base. Carson's 0-1. Change up, lined into center field. It'll get down for a base hit in front of Caden Bogenpole. Carl Schmidt will take the turnaround third. He'll score standing up. A 2-out, 1 RBI single for Adrian Lopez should be the call as Bogenpole a little slow to get up in center field. We're now tied at 6 between Cotuit and Falmouth with 2 gone on top of the 7th.
3, Mike Anu, center fielder.
Kind of in that in-between territory for Bogenpole. But if he should have played that on a hop, he kind of took a weird in-between where he dove at it. He's still a little hunched over out in center.
They do rule it a 1-run single for Adrian Lopez. Caden Bogenpole looks to be all right in center field. Again, that's a big man playing center field. That's 6'6", 240. Mike Anu squares up to bunt on the first pitch he sees. The liner into shallow infield grass on the left side. The third baseman, Caden Johnson, will come up with it. No throw over to first base. Whatever it takes for Mike Anu. He's on first base now. And Adrian Lopez goes up to second.
I mean, that is so unfair. He leads the league in almost every offensive category, including 7 home runs. And just bunt. Catch the defense off guard.
It was a poor bunt as well for Mike Anu. What's now turned into a marathon top of the 7th inning. Commodores have already scored 3 to tie this game up at 6. Now Kent Schmidt looks to add on from the left side. With 2 on base, Carson's first pitch to strike middle. Adrian Lopez off of second base following his 1-run single. And Mike Anu, just a looper on the bunt single, he's off of first. Carson looks at both and delivers the 0-1. Fastball, low and inside on Kent Schmidt. Schmidt's still the lone Commodore with 2 hits so far in this game. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. Tried to turn a single into a double and was thrown out in the 6th. 1-1. Fastball runs outside. 2 balls and 1 strike now to the Georgia Tech first baseman. Not too often in these back half innings have we seen 2 Commodores on base at the same time. Remember, it was a pairing of Evans and Adelman who had retired 10 consecutive Falmouth batters. 2-1. Fastball taken for a called strike. Schmidt hasn't pulled the bat off of his back left shoulder. But now in this lefty on lefty, he might have to. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Commodores looking to build on a 3-run inning. Game tied at 6. Carson's 2-2. Grounded, just foul by Schmidt down the right field line. Action in both bullpens. It's become a momentous at-bat in this game between Falmouth and Cotuit. Tied at 6th. Kent Schmidt looks to change it, though. Lopez off of second, and Micah New off of first. As that bat goes long, we're not full yet, though. Chase Carson's 2-2. Is cracked into right field, down for a base hit. Adrian Lopez gets the wave around third base. The throw will be too late over there. Another 1-run single. This time it's Kent Schmidt doing it. And Falmouth takes its first lead in this game. Top of the 7th, it's 7-6 Doors. So Kent Schmidt scores Adrian Lopez on his 3rd straight single. Make him 3 for 4 on the day, and that could be it for Chase Carson, making his Cape League debut. The Charlotte 49er gets the ball into the hands of Cotuit Kettleers pitching coach Tim O'Connor, with Kettleers manager Lauren Hibbs already ejected in this game. So we will have a pitching change, and it's a right-hander coming into this game for the Kettleers. Make it a 4-run top of the 7th inning. Falmouth pouring it on now against Cotuit. Doors take their first lead in this game, 7-6 in favor of the visitors. We'll introduce the new Kets pitcher right here from Lowell Park when we return on Cape League TV. Friday night, and the clouds begin to darken over Lowell Park. It's a 4th pitcher used by the Kettleers and the first pitching change made in an inning for the Kets. We're now down to the Falmouth Commodores thanks to a 4-run top of the 7th inning. It's 7-6 Commodores here on the road in Game 22 of the Cape League season. Alongside my friend and partner Andrew Della Piana, I'm Ryan Martin, bringing you all the action on Cape League TV. It's the first right-hander used as well by the Kettleers. Charlie Walker, the rising senior at Northeastern, comes to look to settle it down with the runners on the corners and 2 outs here for Falmouth.
He's done a great job building off a 3rd-team All-American campaign. This will be his team-leading 8th appearance, just north of a 2 ERA, and he has been the guy to bring out the bullpen in 11 2/3 innings. And with runners at 1st and 3rd, Commodores looking to carry this momentum, break this open a little bit as you said, begins to darken here a little bit.
It's been a 5-hit, 4-run inning for the Commodores. Capitalized early by the 2-run homer by Ashton Wilson, his first on the summer. Here's lefty Justin Osterhaus to face the righty. And Walker, first pitch. He's a ball upstairs. Ken Schmidt will run on the play, and he'll just walk into second base about as leisurely as you can. Now 2 into scoring position with New off of third base. Ken Schmidt off of second base for Justin Osterhaus.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe that guy has 4 stolen bases now. All of them have been walking to second base. Those numbers are a little skewed for him.
If we had the hitting that Schmidt had, I think us 4 could also steal his base. True. 1-0. Check swing from Osterhaus, and the home plate umpire Rowan says he did go around. Make it 1 ball, 1 strike now to the Alabama utility man.
Yeah, you don't want to harp on the guy, but he's just doing his job, taking second base and first and third. He's smart.
He's watching the pitch just like we are over here from behind the fence. Big moment for Justin Osterhaus. Walker's 1-1. Fastball on the ground over to the second baseman in Barbary. He takes a few steps in, throws over to first for out number 3. Charlie Walker comes in. He needed 1 out, and that's exactly what he gets in the first batter faced. But a 4-run top of the 7th inning, featuring 2-run homer for Ashton Wilson, give the Commodores their first lead in this game. Falmouth 7, Cotuit 6. We're entering stretch time here at Lowell Park. We invite you to do the same as Cotuit looks to retake the lead in just a moment on Cape League TV.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
I'm Jacob Schultz, pitcher from Vanderbilt University, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Well, the clouds just become darker and darker over Lowell Park in the village of Cotuit, and that's been the story for the Kettleers. After the Falmouth Commodores put up 4 runs in the top of the 7th inning, Falmouth takes its first lead in this game, 7-6 in favor of the Commodores, entering the home half of the 7th right here on Cape League TV. Right out of the 7th inning stretch, alongside Andrew Della Piana, I'm Ryan Martin, welcoming you back in on Cape League TV. A new arm on the mound for Jared Saltzlamakia and the Falmouth Commodores. We welcome in rising junior from Vanderbilt and Jacob Schultz. He's been great so far through 5 appearances on Cape Cod.
Someone who's kind of been that calming presence, if you will, for the Commodores, where he doesn't throw a whole lot of innings. He's a guy that is in there for 1 frame, and he's quickly out of it with those 5 appearances, 5 1/3, with that sub-2 ERA. And the walk-to-strikeout numbers a little iffy right now, 5 to 8 with walks and strikeouts. So he needs to settle down in that category just a little bit.
The Houston native with just 1 earned run across those 5 1/3 inning and 5 appearances. Middle third of the Kettleers lineup starts with the righty Jack Natilli. That's a tough bat to face at leadoff if you're Schultz. First pitch is lined back into the home plate netting by the Cincinnati designated hitter, Jack Natilli. Righty on lefty here between Natilli and Schultz to begin the home half of the 7th. Natilli so far, 1 for 2 so far, with the 2-run single his last time up. 0-1, spiked in the dirt by Schultz and blocked away by the backstop McCann. And you talk about the ridiculous resume Jack Natilli has as of recently. Still 5 home runs in his last 4 games. Oh yeah, that includes 2 grand slams in his last 3. Cape League Player of the Week for a reason. Now 2nd in the league with 5 homers. 1-1 from Schultz is skied into right center field. Center fielder New will go back to the warning track, put the glove up, and make the catch for a loud first out in the home half of the 7th. You thought he might have a 6th home run right there, but Mike Anu, the Cape League leader, with 6 home runs, pulls it down. That's 7 home runs for Mike Anu. They just keep adding up for the Arkansas center fielder. The 2 league leaders haven't had too busy of a day yet as Natilli moves to 1 for 3. Here's Nolan Stevens from the left side. Charles looks in, his first pitch. Fastball, all strike at the knees of Stevens. More conversation from the Kettleers dugout on balls and strikes. Home plate umpire Mark Rowan reminds them that their field manager in Lauren Hibbs is already tossed in the 3rd inning. Schultz is 0-1. So breaking ball runs outside. Nolan Stevens today, he's 0 for 2 with the strikeout and pop out to end the 4th. He was walked and scored though as part of a 4-run bottom of the 1st for the Cats. Schultz is 1-1. Fastball lofted into left center field. Ashton Wilson, the left fielder, will come in on it, take a few steps in, and make the play for out number 2.
Number 6, Luke Matthews, shortstop, Kent State.
Pair of flyouts make it quick work in his first inning of work for the Vanderbilt lefty Jacob Schultz. He now sees Kent State's Luke Matthews. He looks to extend the 7th inning for a Cotuit lineup that all of a sudden has gone quiet as the clouds slowly but surely darken over Lowell Park. Righty on lefty, first pitch from Schultz. Curveball drops into the zone beautifully. 12-6 to perfection for strike 1.
Yeah, I think if the sun hangs out a little bit longer before our scheduled sunset at 8:16, you're maybe looking at getting this full game in, but that might not be the case.
0-1. Fastball, line back towards the home plate fencing by Matthews. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. A 7-6 Commodores lead after a 4-run top half of this inning. Schultz is 0-2. It is a curveball that's spoiled and grounded down the 3rd baseline foul. Luke Matthews arguably has a hit of this game so far for the Kettleers, and it came in the first half inning swinging for Cotuit, a 3-run single in the 1st inning. That put Cotuit ahead, a lead that the Kettleers haven't seen go astray since last half inning. 0-2. Curveball hangs up just long enough for ball 1. Schultz looks down at his pitch comm on his right elbow. He's worked with David McCann frequently now through 5 appearances. Delivers the 1-2. Fastball swing and a miss. Schultz's first strikeout sits down the Kettleers in order in the 7th. Exactly what the Commodores ordered after taking their first lead in this game. Simple, no runs on no hits, no errors, and 0 Kets left on base. We'll see if the Clouds hold off for the top of the 8th and Falmouth can build on its lead. Coming up next, right here on Cape League TV.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just 1 click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store located at 147 T-Ticket Highway and try a slice today.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, president of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League this summer. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls, piled high on grilled brioche and served either hot and buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery to go along with the fries and coleslaw. Visit your local 99 restaurant this summer today. You gotta love the Nines.
Top of the 8th inning, a 7-6 lead for Falmouth on the road at the village of Cotuit, where Lowell Park is getting darker and darker by the half inning. Clouds beginning to come in on one of the 3 Cape League ballparks. That's without lights. That's why it's a 5 p.m. start here at Lowell Park. Still means you might not be able to get through all 9. Alongside Andrew Della Piana, I'm Ryan Martin on Cape League TV. It's still Charlie Walker, the right-hander and 4th pitcher utilized by Cotuit. Here into the 8th inning, with again the bottom third of the Commodores lineup due up in the 8th. David McCann led off the 7th, and now the lefty will lead off the 8th as well, as all 9 Commodores come to bat in a 4-run 7th inning. Walker's first pitch. Fastball for a called strike at the knees of McCann. First strike 1. Commodores have scored all 7 runs in bunches. A 3-run top of the 2nd, and now a 4-run top of the 7th. Now it looks to continue on in the 8th. 0-1 is a ball that runs outside. Fastball can't catch the zone for the Northeastern Husky and right-handed pitcher in Charlie Walker. A couple of New England guys this year between the Eastern Connecticut native and David McCann and the Milton, Mass pitcher in Walker. 1-1 is skied into foul territory. Catcher Lavin takes his helmet off in front of the Kettleers dugout, puts the glove up, but the ball will pop out of Lavin's glove as he tried to catch it in foul territory. Second life for his defensive counterpart and the catcher David McCann with Falmouth. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
I was more so watching the amount of spin on that ball and the way that came back into the field of play. It looked like it was destined to get more towards the Cotuit dugout.
Lavin was almost stepping onto the gravel that's right in front of the Kettleers dugout down the third base line. Then you're exactly right, that spin brought it closer to the third base bag. He had to almost fall onto his back to try and catch it. Pops out of the net. Here's Charlie Walker for a 1-2 count. In the Milton, Mass native, just about 60 miles away from home here in the village of Cotuit. His 1-2. Fastball just outside on the lefty McCann. Ball makes the count 2-2. Tough take there from the veteran backstop and David McCann.
Also surprised too, Walker isn't working with a little bit more pace to potentially try to get a 9th inning in as well. Taking down 12 seconds of this pitch clock.
Walker's 2-2. A changeup that's spoiled away by McCann down the right field line. Foul. It's a great point. We were just talking about it off air. As you begin the top of the 8th inning, and obviously Falmouth up 7-6 over Cotuit. So for it to be a full completed inning, it would have to be Falmouth retired in the 8th, and then Cotuit would get their ups. Don't know if the darkness will hold off for all of that. Walker's deep breath. Glove of the belt for the 2-2. Swing and a miss on McCann. Dips into the dirt, and the catcher Lavin just taps the back right shoulder of David McCann. It's a first out in the top of the 8th. First strikeout today for Walker, who came in relief in the 7th inning. It's the 7th inning that Chris Carson wants back. Give you his line in just a moment. Here's the righty Ashton Wilson, fresh off his 2-run homer. First pitch is lined into right center field. The right fielder in Nolan Stevens will make the catch on the run for out number 2.
Even though that was a line out to center, the game that Ashton Wilson is having, he's been a lot of fun to watch. He's putting a lot of good wood on the barrel right now. And even in that 6-3 ground out he had in the 5th as well, that was a tough play on the backhand for Matthews in the hole.
Wilson making now 2 for 4 with 4 runs batted in, thanks to the 2-run homer an inning ago. Here's Chris Newstrom from the right side. Righty on righty with Charlie Walker. Walker's first pitch. Swing and a miss by Newstrom. Curveball rolls out of the glove from Lavin, but no one on base. No problem for the Kettleers. Again, it's Walker on the mound after the day is over. In the first Cape League appearance for Chase Carson, he goes only 2/3 of an inning, gives up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, the walk, and then, as we mentioned, the 2-run homer to Ashton Wilson in the bottom third of Falmouth's lineup. 0-1 to the Tennessee Volunteer and Newstrom. It's a called strike middle. Newstrom puts the baby blue bat over his head. Shrugs his shoulders knowing that was one right in the zone for him. Newstrom's 0 for 3 so far today in the 9 spot. Reached on second via an error by the shortstop in Matthews, and then a couple of groundouts. 0-2. Runs inside. The breaking ball doesn't fool the shortstop in Newstrom. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the half inning up to this point that it looked like Cotuit needed defensively. They settle down Newstrom for a 3-up, 3-down inning and then get the bats going before this game is potentially called. 1-2, swing and a miss. Chris Newstrom goes around. Charlie Walker bumps his fist knowing exactly what he did. He strikes out 2 of the 3 batters he faces, the minimum in the 8th inning. Now Cotuit down 7-6 to Falmouth, an opportunity to take this lead and potentially walk it off and complete a game in 8 innings. Can the Cats do it? You'll have to find out in just a moment right here on Cape League TV.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition.
Careful. So quick break here as there's conversation, and this game might be over. They could call this game to darkness, and the umpires are walking off the field at Lowell Park in Cotuit. This game looks like it'll be called midway through the 8th inning. The fans at Lowell Park not pleased with the umpires here, but it's their discretion, and they deem this game as unplayable. It'll go as a 7-6 Falmouth win in 7 innings. So the Kettleers sit down the Commodores in order in the top of the 8th inning, but they say it doesn't matter at all. That 8th inning will not go down in the books. This game is called after 7.5, so 7 officially. It's a 7-6 Commodores win. Falmouth goes back over 500 in game 22 of the Cape League season.
That is very surprising, Ryan, especially too with that is just a weird situation where it kind of feels like, wow, that is a whole lot to unravel. Let's kind of start with that initial conversation that the 3 umpires come in to home plate. They start discussing about whether that bottom of the 8th is going on. We have the rest of the Cotuit coaching staff coming out to argue after Mark Rowan kind of gives the cut row sign like, hey, this is it. I originally thought that this was going to be the last half inning, but he just walked off the field, didn't want to hear anything else from the rest of the staff. That is, wow.
And the big point with that, remember, it's Kettleers' first-year field manager, Lauren Hibbs. He couldn't argue for his own hosting Cotuit team. He got tossed in the 3rd inning, already with some conversation with home plate umpire Mark Rowan. So it was Tim O'Connor, the pitch coach, acting bench coach at the moment. He had a word with Rowan, who called this game after 7.5 innings of play. You don't see that every day here on Cape Cod. But for the Falmouth Commodores, they will take it, get back into the win column after the league-wide off day yesterday. Falmouth moves to 11-10-1 on the season through 22 games played. Cotuit will drop down to 8-12-2 ahead of, for Falmouth, hosting the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox at Gov Fuller Field tomorrow. Again, Andrew Del Piano, just a bit of an awkward ending to a bit of an awkward game with the running scored so sporadically.
Now, look, I would have loved to continue the rest of this game. We would have had no idea what would have been at stake, but, you know, that 4-run 7th inning by the Commodores, it was one of those things where you just kind of needed it to happen to get yourself back in the game, especially with the timing of how you never know what things could work, especially when the field doesn't have lights and you don't know if you're going to get that full 9 in. But a lot of huge efforts in this one, Ryan, to really carry this team to victory.
And it's 7 runs on 9 hits with 1 error for Falmouth, 6 runs on 6 hits with 1 error for Cotuit. Big reason for that scoring production was the first home run and first 4 RBI in the summer for Ashton Wilson. He's alongside the 3rd member of our crew in Ben Haller. Ben?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryan. I'm here with Ashton Wilson, who had a great day for the Falmouth Commodores. 2 for 4 with home run, 4 RBIs. What were you seeing well today?
Man, I'm just trying to help the team win. Just putting it play, get the next guy up, and yeah.
This is a game that, I mean, I don't know if anyone was expecting this. Came to an abrupt ending here in the middle of the 8th inning, and they didn't let Cotuit hit. You ever been a part of a game like this?
Not even close. No. I mean, most games I'm part of have lights these days. So.
Yeah. Well, for you, this is kind of wrapping up that first week here in Falmouth, looking forward to the rest of the season. How nice is it to kind of get a game like this, to get some confidence and get your feet under you moving forward down the stretch here in the back half of the season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just want to be the best player I can be so we can start winning. And so, yeah, it feels great.
Ashton, thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys.
Back to you guys.
Ben, thanks so much. Ashton Wilson looking to be the best player he can be. Well, he was the best player tonight. Again, you mentioned the line there for Ashton Wilson. He goes 2 for 4, a 2-run single in the second, and a big 2-run homer in the seventh, his first on Cape Cod. That'll do it from Elizabeth Lowell Park here in the village of Cotuit. Again, it's a 7-6 win over the Kettleers. Falmouth will be back in action against the East Division leading YD Red Sox tomorrow at the Gov. We have Saturday night baseball. That game will have the first pitch over at 6 p.m. You'll, of course, join our pregame show at 5:40 p.m. where it'll be Andrew Della Piana and Ben Haller on the call for that one. But for the last time today, for our producer, Dan Papillo, a third member of our team, Ben Haller, and my partner, Andrew Della Piana, I'm Ryan Martin. Your score for the final time tonight, it's Falmouth picking up win number 11 at Cotuit, 7-6 Commodores over the Kettleers.